You say, wow, let's enjoy some fun conversation. We'll be shooting the shelf around the nation. Let's start shooting the shelf.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Shooting the Shelf, Season 4, Episode 2. I'm Jesse Arnold, and with me, as always, is the adorable, indomitable, inevitable, indubitable, Curtis Akerman. How's it going, buddy?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm making up nonsense words, so I'm good.
That's cool. Nonsense words can be cool sometimes.
Yes. So, we've got a fun show tonight. We've got quite a few guests. As the intro says, bring a friend or two, or in this
or
case,
just as many as you want.
or yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is the first party episode of the year. Strap in, buckle up, hold on tight. In the words of Mr. Arnold from Jurassic Park, hold on to your butts.
Yeah, there you go. We do have some people in the chat out there.
We sure do.
You want me to shout them out, or you got it?
Rock, paper, scissors for it?
Sure.
All
on
right.
three, or
it's
three,
1,
go?
2, 3, shoot. It's like 1, 2, 3, throw. All right.
Okay. All right. I got rock.
Well,
So I guess that means
you
I
won.
call out. Okay.
Or you can choose.
No, I'll go. We got Chris Johnson out in the chat. We got Blake, aka ReconRage. We got Dave Orkin is out there. Van Johnson. We got Hula Some Warlock. Purple Gang. We got Dub 3. I am TJ Williams. The H is silent though. We got Darla Akerman out there. I know her. Stacy Lin, two of my favorite Lins. Jesse pulling double duty in the chat on the screen. Old PB, one half of PB and J, Patrick Boyle is out there. Got Legends Collector 1321. Don't be fooled by those other 1320. Those guys aren't the shit, but that 1321, that dude's he's there. We got Kimpool Collects. You know what Kimpool says? He says YouTube loves comments. So yeah, make sure you leave comments after the video. We got Guaisagwe Echevarria. Scrolling. We got Rob Zamora. Saw that guy today on New to Mythics. Let's see. We got Matt Stein in here. And Jeffrey Evans. Saw him also on the New to Mythics. Jose Sanchez. We got JMax77. Steven with a V. And Jose Torres. Got a couple Jose's in here. We got Kevin McCoy as well. So there you go. Pretty poppin' chat. I think you muted yourself, Jesse.
I sure did. Thank you, everybody, for being here. That's a lot of fun people out in the chat. So thanks for joining us tonight. And if you're listening to the replay, thank you for listening there as well, or watching, whatever.
Yeah, whatever you do, as long as you're there. Somebody must hit the like button because now we got Trevor 1-6 shooter in the house as well.
Okay,
So,
there we go.
yeah. And apparently Tanya is watching with Kevin. Brian Lynn is here now. So we got 3 Lynns, we got 2 McCoys, we got an Orkin, and Partridge in a Pear Tree, and Miguel Gomez Jr. So yeah.
It is a full house, just like the guest we have coming on tonight. So, Curtis, without further ado, I was going to download some sound effects, and I forgot. So, digital applause in everyone's mind. Give it up for the one and only Blake, a.k.a. ReconRage, joining the shelf.
Our actual guest. This is our actual guest for the night. And then he brought on some comrades with him. So
yeah.
He said, hey, the song says a friend or two. Like, can I bring on like 15? And I was like, dude, more the merrier. It'll be a party. So
we can only fit 10 people on the screen at a time. So
oh yeah. up to 10. Then after that, they're out of here. So
I'll let the other 6 know they can't get on.
Okay. All right.
How y'all
Up
doing?
next. Oh, good. Sorry. What?
I'm just saying hi to everybody.
All right. Next, we've got
you know him, you know his hat, you know his color. It's Brian Burke on Burke Studios.
What's happening? Had to do the
What's going
Khmer.
on?
Had to do the Khmer intro for you.
There you go.
Very nice.
I don't think we've been
All right.
fingered on Shooting the Shelf before, so that's a first.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know you were on before. I think I had Curtis on as my all the time. I don't remember if we got the finger on that one or not.
Did not. First time. First time.
There you go,
Got
Curtis.
fingered.
It's because of you.
It's because you got fingered.
Very nice. We should make T-shirts.
Yeah. All you kids out there, plug earmuffs.
I got fingered on Shooting the Shelf.
We do have this channel rated for not for kids, so hopefully there are no children watching. If you're with your parents, tell them thank you for letting you watch whatever this is. Yeah.
What's up, chat? How's it going, chat?
Oh, this is not for kids? I better get off then.
Right? What's Blake doing on here?
I know. I didn't see the under 13, like whatever.
The reason I did that, one of the first things I did before it became this show, when I had the channel, I unboxed a Rogue Sideshow statue, and for some reason it got flagged for inappropriate. I mean, it was from Sideshow, so it wasn't like
But it's Rogue.
pornographic. I didn't swear. I don't know what it was, but it got rated like inappropriate. So I just, ever since then, I just switched everything to not for kids.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, someone else can traumatize those wonderful little things out in the world.
You see Trevor's comment. Tell him Shooting the Shelf fingered. Fingered. I love that.
That's a great shirt. For Legion's Con right there.
We're on to something.
Oh boy, I feel like that's gonna be like a custom hand 3D printed hand now.
Gotta use the artwork. Gotta use the artwork that you guys do for the thumbnails for the show.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, Jesse. I mean, with all the work that Brian's doing at his studio, how do we not have a hand like this? Like, come on.
I used the picture in his profile. I went cheap and found that was the first picture I found. That's why it's black and white compared to the other ones being in color.
We need a 3D printed hand that's just like this.
I should do a head that's just a finger, right? Little socket on the just like a finger.
That'd be awesome.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. And Blake, thanks for having me as your plus one.
Oh, absolutely. All the time.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
All right. We've got a couple more guests here, so let's bring them on all out. Coming up next is my brain just went blank. Roberto.
Hello. I see Blaise's in the chat, so I bet you will see a little wepa in the chat very soon here. So.
Yeah, he's a man.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel like a total poser in this group. I'm like in the midst of royalty, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? So
one of us.
But thank you.
You brought us the wepa. I mean,
that's right. I did bring that.
Totally.
Yeah, thank you.
There
There you go.
There it
Blaise.
is.
I told you. See,
Wepa.
that's how you know. That's the code word.
Twice a play. He's got it, man. That's about it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
We're gonna have to get that. We're gonna have to get a recording of you guys saying that so we can.
Yes.
We're gonna have to do there's a lot of Puerto Ricans and Latinos with Puerto Rican connections that come to Legion's Con, so we should get a little gathering going and record a big wepa from everybody there. So
There you
it
go.
actually happened not this last one, but the previous one. I remember that's where you heard it for the first time, Brian. We were working the table.
It was.
And these
I was
guys
like,
were
"What?"
walking by, and I went, wepa! And then they went, wepa!
I was like, I love it. I love it. I was hooked. Sold. So good.
But yeah, thank you so much for inviting me, Blake and Curtis and Jesse and everybody. Brian, it's always good to see you. I just had dinner with Brian right before the holidays, so
That's
we
right.
we had a fun
Oh,
time.
awesome!
Nice.
We got to go find some hidden Santas.
We found the hidden Santas. Yeah,
That was-
Portland. It's a Portland tradition.
How many Santas were there?
400 and change.
They hide these Santa. I mean, Roberto can tell the story. It's a quick one, but it's a really cool thing they do in Portland. But go ahead, tell them what.
Yeah, one of those Portland things. So this guy started collecting lawn. You know those lawn decoration Santas that light up. They're kind of like blow molds. And this guy about 10 years ago started collecting them and started to do every Christmas an installation in Portland. And he writes a set of clues and puts them out on social media so people can go and find where the installation is every Christmas. And over time, he keeps getting Santas from people and whatnot. So he started with like 100. He's up to like 400 plus. Over 400.
They're all the same Santa. They're all the same.
All in the same pose.
Yeah.
And they're all these blow mold glow up Santas. And so so then I called Brian and told him, you want to go hunting for Santas? And so we got together for dinner, and then we we figured out the clues and we went to find it, and it's become kind of a Portland tradition. So
you know what's weird is I'm planning, when the All-Star 6 wave comes out, I'm planning on doing that with the Sir Enochs. So if anybody wants to send me their Sir Enochs,
there you go.
just nail them to me. I'll be putting together an event.
You put an exhibit together, little clues.
Curtis, you know what? I'm doing the same thing with the dragon.
Yeah,
I'm doing the same thing with the dragon. So if all you guys that get the dragon, send them my way. I'm doing
just send you that makes sense.
As many as you can. I'm going for 100.
That's awesome.
Well, coming up here, stop there, Jesse, because we got one more guy backstage.
That's right. So we got our guest friend, and he brought not a friend or two, but three. Welcome, Blaise Bear, back to the shelf.
What's up, dude?
Hey, Blaise.
What's up, dude?
What's up, gentlemen? How do?
It's good to see you.
Man, this is a party here.
Yeah, man. It's like a Friday night. It's like a Friday night. It's awesome.
Yep, night of 1,000 Enochs for sure. Well, guys, at the beginning of the show, I'm sure you guys know, we do a little thing called Shelf Selections, where Jesse and I pull up some photos that we found throughout the week that inspired us. So we're going to pull them up. We're going to talk about them. We'll give them opportunity for you guys to talk about it, and then we'll go from there. So here we go with the new cover for Shelf Selections. Look how pretty that is. Jesse put that together. Look at that. Got a little.
You need to get that wax. Like, you need to actually get the wax stamp for that.
That'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
Oh boy. Yeah, okay. If anyone knows how to make a wax stamper, let us know.
Hey, and just to point out Rob Zamora put out something really good there. Everyone in here has a B in their name. Blake, Roberto, it's Bob, Brian,
my middle
Blaise.
name would be so. Yeah.
Nice.
BBB game.
Pretty crazy.
The fourth power.
There you go. I like that.
All right, here we go. This is the first one is one of mine. This is from an up-and-coming photographer in the community at Corona 4. Did this really nice one with this indie here, and I think the whole background and everything on the desk and everything is really cool. But I think the thing that totally sells this for me is the shadows coming from the shades.
Yeah,
like just on his side and back. Like, I mean, just such a cool idea with the lighting and everything. Just really cool. I don't know what this thing is that he's got in his hand, what he's doing there. I don't know what that is. I've never seen one of those. I don't know. But yeah, he's looking at something for sure. Maybe it's one of those picture things. I don't know.
I think it's the Four Horsemen book.
Maybe that's
there you go.
Oh my
it.
god.
That's it.
It's the Four Horsemen book.
Yeah.
I'm just catching up to the conversation.
No, that's a great shot. It's a really cool shot.
Is that a Dobby statue in the front?
I'm not sure what it is. He's got a lot of cool accessories here in this picture. I don't know what all came with the Indian and what all is extra, but it's.
I think
really
that's a Cosmic Legion skull on the back.
It is up on the mantle.
Oh yeah,
on the mantle there.
Sure is.
It's just kind of off focus there, and
you know what I love about the shot too is the layering. I mean, you have the subject matter. You got Indian focus, right? We got the background blurred out. Then we got the foreground with the statue blurred out. So it's giving this really cool multi-level look. Like, it's really giving some dimension to it. And I love that.
Yeah,
so good.
I actually think it's Nate's smoking room. like where he kicks back in the evening. I don't think that's actually a diorama. I think that's just where Nate hangs out.
Right.
So it's like trick photography with the scale of Indy to look full
Yes,
size.
there it is. Yeah.
Jesse, thoughts on this one?
It's really cool. Like I want to go hang out in this room and like look at all the stuff. And yeah, I love history and all that sort of stuff. So this is a really fun room. But aside from getting lost in the setting, it's a really cool shot. Really well set. I love the shadows from like the lattice or the screen on the window or whatever that's coming through. Just it feels like something right out of an Indiana Jones movie.
I just saw his hat and jacket in the back hung up. I didn't even see that the first time.
Oh, dude, that's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you guys think that lamp's lit up, or is that just?
I was going to say
lighting on
that
set?
Tiffany lamp's awesome.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It's cool.
That might be. I know some of those 112 like dollhouse things have like lights you can put in them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, maybe it's a new Carver custom Tiffany lamp. Brian, let us know in the comments.
And Indy being a pulp hero set in the 40s, it totally has that film noir feel with the light coming in through the blinds. I mean, you could take that shot, put it in black and white, and make it like a Sam Spade or something like that, some kind of a detective or something, right? It's got that same feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So good.
Can totally hear that John Williams like the inquisitive, tense music starting to stir, you know.
Yeah. Totally.
All right. Next one is one of Jesse's.
That's
All right. I don't know what's wrong with my eyes. I cannot read the name on this.
It looks like Zaus _ Toy Shots and Mighty UGD. Yeah, Mighty UGD.
Yeah. XAOS _ Toy Shots. So this I believe,
and in case they're watching, I'm sure Jesse followed you after this. It still shows follow button, but I'm sure he hit that. So
I don't know if I missed it when I followed it. I usually get it when I do the recap post. So this was actually shared by our buddy Elijah Captain Firebeard Baker, and that's why I have this, because I couldn't find this on their page. But anyway, I just thought it was really cool. Of course, it's Thistlethorn, hefting up that mighty sword horseman, especially with the announcement of the Silver Knight coming out and the Shield Horseman. It was just, but it's Thistlethorn, so even if that sword wasn't in it, I would love it. But yeah.
They captured the golden hour too, just that golden light, like natural. It could have been sunrise or sunset, but that's like photographer's dream for this kind of set, is right at that moment. Looks great.
wow,
Super warm, a lot of warm tones.
Yeah, dude. So
unlike here.
yeah,
For real.
This was not an account that I knew of or was following, so I just went to give it a follow and just kind of looking at some of the photos. Man, they're fantastic. Like Jesse, there's one with Kratos that I think you're going to absolutely love. So I want to just check it out when you get time. But yeah, it's really good Instagram to follow for sure.
I am following. I just pulled it up. I already am following. So I must have done it right after this. I screenshotted this.
Beautiful.
This
Any other
reminds me
thoughts
of-
on this one, guys?
I was going to say it reminds me a little bit of Mouse Guard or Redwall. I don't know if you're familiar with any of those stories, but I've always wanted to see like a highly realized, animated but kind of rendered version of that. And at one point there was going to be a Mouse Guard movie that unfortunately didn't happen, and it kind of had a look like that. Of everything was kind of in that dawn light like that. I could totally see this. It's very cinematic how they've set this shot up. It's really lovely.
mm-hmm.
Did you see that unfinished trailer? Is that what you saw?
Yeah.
One of the things that got lost in the Fox Disney merger.
In the Disney acquisition, which is
that
ironic,
was
given that it had mice in it. You would think
Yeah.
the House of Mouse would have done something with it, but they let it drop. So
Awesome. I believe we got a super chat out there, Jesse.
We sure do. Our buddy
Nice.
Kevin M. Boots 77, not to be confused with any of the Kevin M. Boots 1 through 76. Hit that like button for $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Kevin.
Wepa!
there's your new special effect that you need to add.
Yeah, there you go.
You don't need a sound effects button.
The donation button.
I'm working on it.
Here's one of
Oh,
mine, which is Bandle 3-row. So, yeah, I mean, we've obviously seen this Ghost of Christmas Past used as a few bar winches at this point, and you know, this is just cool. I love how they use the Nate Bart shield on the background on the wall, just kind of as a wall decoration. You got the you know, the fireplace. You got a couple people. You know, she's going and collecting these mugs and stuff. Yeah, just super cool shot. I love it. I love the kind of motion of it as well. Looks
and the
really
shield,
nice.
And she
using his shield as a tray.
So good.
What's cool about that is it kind of tells a story. Like it makes you wonder, you know, that some knight die and they left the shield behind, and so that's what they use at the bar to, you know, collect things now. Or
maybe she's the knight, and this is like this is her side gig, right?
This is her day job or something.
Day job, yeah, exactly.
Got a comment here from Jeff, says, saw someone say Maiden is more PC. Well, clearly you don't know what show you're on, because that's not what we do.
I mean, I'm not using a Mac, so technically this is a PC show. I'll see myself out.
Nice.
No, this is a great shot. I love the custom of the tavern maid, the maiden, the wench, whatever it is. She looks great. It's the shield is a nice touch. That she's using as the tray. It just makes me think like maybe some unlucky night, like, you know, lost gambling or something. So now she kept his gear and stuff, or some, like you said, there's so many different stories without context. It's great.
I like that.
Just from the way this is set up. So it's a great shot. And the dwarf with the jug of ale and everything is just,
it looks
like
it'd
be a fun place to hang out, I think.
He looks like he's a little bow-legged too. He's got a little hitch in his giddy up.
A little too much.
Yeah.
Looks like they got a Thanksgiving turkey on the table too.
Yeah.
See the legs.
That's just Envira's head from Cosmic.
It's got a few legs. It might be a turducken.
Nice.
All right, this one is Jesse's.
Okay, so obviously this is not toy photography, but this is beer man photography, someone from our community. And I always like when I see other types of stuff, other artwork from folks that's not just toy related. And I just really love the color. I don't know what these birds are. Dennis Derby, if you ever watch this, let us know, or if someone else knows. But I love the colors on those birds. I think that they just, you know, in this kind of winter photograph, just really stand out. And I just really liked it. So I threw this on as a last minute. So thank you.
When I first glanced at it, I thought totally it was a Dennis Derby shot. It's like, oh, there's a Dennis.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the prettiest shots of government drones I've ever seen in my life.
Scrap that. Dennis, don't listen to this.
Yeah.
That's a nice color. That's a nice to think about color combinations for customs. I love that gold.
Yeah,
you know, brownish gold, blue, and white like that. It really works nice.
There you go.
It's you know, it's nice to look at stuff like this for inspiration for other things.
Yeah, it definitely offsets with the background and stuff too. Like, I mean, it snowed like 2 feet here last week. And at one point we looked outside and it was just, I mean, everything was white except for one cardinal sitting in a tree in our backyard. It was like, you know, you just kind of get that one little splash of color. And it's just kind of cool. Yeah.
Pretty bird.
Yeah.
I'm getting the Dumb and Dumber little vibe there.
Pretty bird. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Our gas is turned off. Our pets' heads falling off.
All right. Next one is one of mine, and this one's kind of brutal. Especially that head in the front.
Nice.
You know, like an eyeball hanging out and everything. This is Salvaged Cargo on Instagram. I just thought this was really cool. I love the whole like flames in the background, and you got like the little sparks and stuff flying everywhere, and just, you know, he's just holding that head out to whoever's, I don't know who's down there at the bottom of the castle or whatever, but man, he's intimidating the hell out of those folks. So
it's a good shot.
Yeah.
I like how they lined up the stones. I mean, it's perfect. You got the one in the middle, just the way they framed it was a good eye on like symmetry there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Plus, yeah.
It's cool.
I can imagine a crowd being at the bottom, and they've killed whatever the nemesis was, and they're like showing the head, like we did it,
Yeah.
like everybody's celebrating that the big monster has been taken down or something.
Totally.
And the guy holding it, I mean, he looks like he's had a night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
he
yeah.
looked
Oh, for
pretty
sure.
rough too.
He
so-
could use that eyeball.
Yeah.
I think the shield from that bar shot is his shield. It's a tavern guy.
Oh, so that shot was the after party, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like that's kind of like
Exactly.
Legion's Con and then the Irish pub. That was kind of the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, what you don't see behind the wall is the record player. He's spinning the records there at the DJ booth.
DJ Swig.
All right. Next one is one of Jesse's.
Oh, hey, look, it's a shot from Kevin M. Boots.
Nice.
Hey.
Kevin always it's hard not to pick a Kevin shot almost every week. It's just I love this pop and swap, making using that Father Christmas head and some of the Dubon parts, walking down the snowy road again, doing that kind of forced perspective where it looks like he's on an actual road that he belongs on. And just the color combinations, just great shot. Always love seeing Kevin's stuff. So keep it up, bud. And I'm not just saying that for super chats.
We love our nature shots, our outdoor shots. This is just really cool. This guy's just headed out for a stroll. Do love the pop and swap nature of this. It looks cool. That head looks great on there. I wouldn't have thought to put that on this figure, but it works perfectly.
Yeah.
I just love it. It's great.
Agreed.
Any other thoughts on this one, guys?
Yeah, he could be one of the dwarfs on his way to Bilbo's house. That scene at the beginning of The Hobbit when all the dwarves are arriving. He could be one of those that's on his way or something like that.
Totally.
You can definitely see it in his eyes, kind of looking up towards whatever it is that he's going to. So
I think he's actually looking at the drones. I think he caught a couple of drones.
Oh no.
See, he's looking and he's got a staff and he's wondering if he can shoot it down or not. He's not sure.
Maybe this is New Jersey. I don't know.
In the
Well, you
background,
did say 2 feet of snow. I mean,
the background up on the hill almost looks like a building. Maybe it's the tavern. Maybe he's leaving the tavern
right.
from the guy got his head cut off and she's got the shield. See, it's all come together.
Brian's building a
There you
whole
go.
little story here.
Yeah.
yeah, there's a story here.
Somehow all the shelf selections have merged together into one storyline.
Yeah.
It's one picture book.
Curtis's Superman shot is going to throw it off, though.
I don't know that I've got a Superman, but
Oh, Guile. There we go.
That's
That's awesome.
Woo! I like this one.
Yeah.
Action.
So yeah, I just thought this was I don't know. I'm assuming there's some sort of like wires or something that was holding this up that they then photoshopped out.
Sure.
But just the pose of this, the screaming head on Dalsum, it's just right out of the video game. Like this
Classic
is super
move.
cool. Yeah.
That
So
is
good.
really cool.
Sonic Boom. He was my favorite character to play back in the day. I mean, oh my God. He was a good one.
I love that he's doing like the ballerina, like I don't know what it's called, like on point with his
On
toes.
point.
Like,
Oh yeah, he's right on the tippy toes.
Yeah.
And even the work with the shadows and stuff, that they did a good job of capturing,
Yeah.
if there was a stand or anything used, they made sure to compensate for that, right? Because it looks the lighting looks very natural. The shadow that's being produced from the lighting coming from behind works really well.
Well, his necklace too. It's hanging,
Yeah.
so it kind of gives you that look.
Yeah.
I think it's just a picture of two guys, one helping another one with the Heimlich. He's probably choking on some hot dogs.
well, now I want a
He
mode.
probably
of
just
this
left that
team.
tavern, he was
There you
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Join the Air Force.
Yeah.
Yep. Maybe he's catching him. He's catching him because he jumped off a building and he's catching him with light. He's helping.
He's like, I got you, bud.
Gotcha. Oh, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't.
All right. Next one is from Jesse.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Man, look at
Yeah,
that.
this is Tor Nerd. Is that Hank?
Sure.
I think it's Hank. Now I'm stuck in my head.
I think it's Tora Nerd on Instagram.
Yeah, or Shaw. G Shaw. Why my brain's blank. Anyway, it's an awesome shot. Cold, snowy weather, and he's carrying, it's one of the half giants with all the gear, and he's carrying one of those, or is it with him? I can't tell. Is the wolf with him, or is he carrying the head?
Yeah, the wolf's next to him.
Is with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you can see the legs of the wolf behind, kind of.
Mhm.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to my computer screen, but it is so tiny, the video. But it's just a fun shot. And the way the light's hitting him, I don't know if he's like moving towards a campfire or an inn or something, or if it's just the sun. But like there's this glimmer of hope and warmth hitting him in this cold, brutal storm. So I love it.
Yeah, I don't know if you're there's a new Conan the Barbarian comic book out right now from Titan Comics, and they just did a whole reinterpretation of one of the first Conan stories, which is the Frost Giant's daughter.
Yeah.
And so it all takes place in this, kind of the northern areas where it's all very wintry and stuff. So this could have been an image straight out of one of those comic book panels.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I do like the front facing light, and it looks like he's kind of walking towards something. You got the direction of the snow, looks like it's coming down just fast and furious. He definitely him and his buddy need to get out of the cold. So I mean, maybe think about that before you go out with bare arms and legs. I'm just saying you could have covered up a little bit more, but still.
It reminds me of the storyline of Diablo 4 when you first start playing the Barbarian. You're kind of in the snowy peak area, and you're kind of finding these little rooms to hide out in. And yeah, this is good. Real good. Lots of storytelling just in the photo. It's pretty amazing.
Very much. Next one.
That's awesome.
Oh, this was great.
And I talked a little bit with Nate today in the customizing studio.
Crazy.
I'm not sure what happened in his youth that makes his brain work the way that it does. But it's interesting. It's interesting. There's a few folks in our community. Brian Say is another one. And I mean, just like I don't know who thinks to do this, but he's got a torso from a horse there. You've got some horse limbs connected to human limbs, with a troll head. But it looks cool. Like it looks like a fully finished figure that you'd be like, wow, this is just a weird creature. But it looks fully finished, and he did a great job. It's just so freaking wacky. Yeah.
I mean, Curtis, I consider you having similar creativity, because I remember at Legion's Con you showed a troll that had been turned into like an elephant or something, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's you're definitely in that group, so I would definitely consider you to kind of be somebody who thinks outside the box, like
there's a difference though into taking something that exists and turning it into something else that you've seen, turning it into something like this that nobody has ever in their wildest nightmares even envisioned. Like I don't know how you even come up with this.
I wrote to Nate telling him that for some reason this reminded me of like how they the John Carter of Mars series has these funky Martians. This could totally almost be like one of those Martian creatures. It's got that feel. The other thing too, I don't know if you noticed this, but the way that the shading is done around the eyeball almost makes it look like he has three eyes. Like he's got two smaller, like the wrinkles at the bottom almost makes it look like he's got two little eyes. Plus, like it's funny because the first time I saw it, I didn't even catch the big eye. I just kind of cut those wrinkles as being
like a frog,
two little
like
eyes there.
like
that was
frog.
And that was like a stone or something, like some kind of a weird ornament in his forehead. So it's really interesting how that plays with how the shading and the lighting plays. But I think it's bizarre and very interesting at the same time.
Yeah, I mean the really funny part about this, like I did a video on my other channel, just kind of talking about the Necronominous parts that are coming out, and had a few folks on there. We were just kind of refreshing our brains, because that pre-order has been so long. And then, kind of thinking about it, I was like, man, somebody's going to take apart the skeleton horse, the conibus, and the torpiculi, and a bunch of and they're going to throw all these bones into a pile and create some sort of wild contraption where they take a horse body and mix it with like human parts and stuff. And like 2 days later, this came out. And I'm like, if anybody was going to mix a horse with human parts and stuff, yeah, it would definitely be Nate. So
it's like hold my beer, Modulok, you know, like here,
right.
this is
right. Jesse, thoughts on this one?
I don't know what different comments I can add to this, except Nate is, like you said, one of those mad geniuses in the group. That we get to see this stuff that it might not inspire him to make something like this, but it'll inspire me or other people to like try different things out that might not be as normal looking. So kudos. And like you said, it works. It shouldn't, but he did it in a way and hid the parts in the right way that it works.
Yeah. This is really awesome.
Yeah. I mean, if the Horseman put out a figure like this, I mean, I would be like, okay, like in Cosmic Legions, I'd be like, okay, like that's a cool, you know, cosmic piece. Like I wouldn't think anything. It's so full. I don't know how to describe it. Just it does feel like a finished actual figure, even though it's also absolutely freaking insane.
Yeah.
So,
you just need to put a swig with it.
There you go.
Like it's one of his accidental creations.
And the last one for the day is from Jesse.
Surprise, surprise. It's another Thistlethorn, but it's the Thistlethorn wearing an art by Akerman cape made by Darla.
What?
Nice.
But
this is, you know, everybody's good friend, Nate Strong. Sorry.
You almost did it.
I know you're different people. My brain is fried. All right. It has nothing to do with it's my brain, not you guys. This is Nate Strong, Corona4 over on Instagram. Great shot. I mean, the dynamic of him walking, and I love that acorn piece that he's holding, you know, considering maybe wearing it as a hat or a snack tray or something. I don't know. It's really cool. I love it. It's Thistlethorn and it's got green in it. So I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I really listen. I know it's my wife, and you know, so I got to talk nice about it anyways. But I really love that cape that she put together for Legion's Con, and she, you know, that like little brooch thing connecting it underneath the hood, like that, like she weaved all that by hand.
Oh my God,
it's just so cool, and it does give him this more like Ranger-esque vibe to him, which I really love. And yeah, this is just a cool shot. You know, got him walking along, got the, you know, the nature look in the background, and I'm not sure what all dio pieces that he's got there, but it works completely with this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You know, it's always a challenge to pose figures, but there's another level of challenge posing soft goods. And so when you look at this, it's like the flow of it looks so nice, like flattening the hood and then just having some ripples in the cape. I mean, there's an art form just to posing, you know, soft goods, and it's done really well here. And again, I love how we have that little bit of blur in the front, right in front of his front foot. Yeah. It's given that extra layer of dimension. I love it. You know, that's kind of photography 101 when you do landscape shots, is kind of get a rock in the front or something, and then kind of, you know, blur it out or whatever it's going to be to get dimension, and nailed it here. This looks fantastic.
Yeah. I like the in-stride motion on this picture. Like it's very fluid. And to Brian's point, the posing of the soft goods flows with the actual stride and how it was captured in that segment. That's totally, to me, that's really, really super impressive.
Yeah. Really good.
Well, those soft goods
Nate always brings it. Yeah.
Those soft goods are easy to pose because Darla's got it. They're just awesome. I have one of those cloaks, and like the wire is like the perfect gauge, so it's easy to form, and it's not clunky, but it's not too light. It's really nice.
Yeah, I know she experimented with a lot of different gauges of wires to get one that was, you know, not too thin that doesn't hold a pose, but not too thick to where it, you know, is clunky. So
yeah.
Awesome. Or it breaks after you pose.
Or snaps. And I think that is it for shelf selection. So, so we didn't go 2 hours this time on shelf selection. So we're winning.
Nice work.
Good job. And folks, if you saw any of the during the shelf selection, you saw any accounts that you're not following, go ahead and throw them a follow on Instagram. It'll make your Instagram feed that much cooler. So, yeah,
indeed.
So, folks, got a new year. What you guys been doing? What you been working on? What you got in the works?
Oh boy, coming off of Legion's Con is so hard. On a creative standpoint, production standpoint, and just an emotional standpoint. I mean, it's so hard coming down from that high of Legion's Con, right? And being with all you guys and all of this, it's just really, really difficult to come off of. And I can kind of relate it to, like, I can imagine when bands go on tour and they're just like on this big high on this, the show up for so long, and then they come off it. It must be really hard. So I'm trying to recover from some of that. It's nice having, Blake or Roberto in the area where, I can just give a call and we can hang out or do something, like that to kind of bring it back, which is really nice. Not everyone across the country has that opportunity or the luxury of doing that. So I'm very blessed and fortunate to have that. But yeah, man, at least for me, I got some projects that I'm working on, some collabs, maybe. I can't really announce yet. That might be some production stuff coming out. I don't know. I can't say much, but I've been keeping pretty busy.
And you've been busy with the Season of Demons project, right? I mean,
yes, we're finishing up Season
of
Demons.
I saw the picture for the next the Succubi coming out soon.
That just came out, and Blake got first. He's the first one to get it, actually, because he's right down the street. It's him first. He's the first one on Instagram to post Von Box every time.
And it's funny. Every time I post them, I get about 6 or 7 people that are like, "Hey, man, hey, bro, can you just send me the pictures of what's inside?
Yeah,
I don't want to wait. Mine's en route."
Yep.
I did that this morning, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, what about you guys? What's going on with everyone? How's everyone recovering from the new year?
Ooh, Michael, what do we got to skip Michael there from Puerto Rico? What should we say?
Wepa! There it is.
We'll just kind of make the round robin. So Brian just went. Roberto, what about you? What you got going on since Legion's Con?
I've been more than anything thinking about ideas and projects. I've got I kind of built up my I remember texting Brian, telling him, "Oh, I'm kind of tempted about getting more than one of the Ghost of Christmas Past figures, but I don't know if I can do it." And then I bit the bullet and I got 3. I'm working actually on a project that I've been chatting with Blaise about, as well as getting some input from the folks from Tony over at Noble Bear. About wanting to try to come up with a series of deities from the Taino Indians, the native peoples of Puerto Rico, and kind of some other representation of their deities. So I'm just kind of playing with that idea right now and bringing in some folks. I think
maybe by Brahma. Maybe.
Hey.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So kind of the idea being that we're very familiar with mythology from well-known cultures like Egypt or Greek mythology and whatnot, but some of these other nations that are less known, groups of people that were kind of colonized and they kind of disappeared. There's not a lot of broad knowledge about them. There is within the Puerto Rican community. I thought it would be kind of fun to explore doing something like that. And Anthony from Noble Bear has suggested some ideas of potential sculptors we could work with and something. So we'll see if that's something that moves forward.
Awesome.
Just kind of a fun idea playing with that. And the idea that the Ghost of Christmas Past comes with that 4-arm configuration actually plays really well into this concept. So
awesome.
It's one of the things that I'm thinking of. So
yeah, that's cool.
And speaking of Puerto Rico, for the Legion's Con, I collaborated with Brian. By collaborated, I mean he did all the work and I just gave him an idea. But there was a sculpt that he made based on the Vejigante mask, which is a mask that's used in folkloric feasts. It's kind of like a demonic mask. And so Brian came up with the idea of kind of making a monster based on that. And for my birthday, Brian not only provided me with so there it is. Blake has he bought one of the ones that I painted in purple there. So that's the one that we sold. I think we sold 10 unpainted, 10 painted, and Blake was one of the recipients of one of those.
Yes.
But for my birthday, Brian painted one with the Puerto Rican flag colors.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's really cool.
So I'm also trying to think of how I could, come up with a figure that could display this piece. So I'm really looking forward to coming up with something for that.
Hey, Roberto, is that the Puerto Rican flag or is that the Houston Texans tribute figure?
It is the Puerto Rican flag, although I remember having friends in college come into my dorm room and be like, "You from Texas?" I'm like, "No, I'm from Puerto Rico." And then they'd be like, "Oh, but you like Texas?" They go, "No, that's not the flag of Texas. That's the Puerto Rican flag." So,
it's not Captain America.
And it's not Captain America. Next time you look at Captain America, you'll notice he's actually Captain
Puerto
Rico. So yeah.
That's awesome.
It's not Captain, it's Capitan. Blaise, what about you? What you got going on since Legion's Con?
A lot of the same stuff Brian was talking about, like the come down and the trying to get back in the groove. Is the struggle is real. There was definitely a good solid month for me where I was just like, I had stuff laid out all over my desk and I just couldn't bring myself to get cracking on stuff. But
yeah,
I'm starting to get back to it now slowly. So
I mean, you've been putting up some great painted heads on your Instagram and stuff. You're still killing it. So
yeah,
for sure.
That Vegante head, it was like the first one I think I painted when I got home from Legion's Con.
Nice.
That sculpt is awesome. I really love that sculpt.
Dude, anytime I see a tag from you on Instagram, I'm like, oh shit, I'm like, no matter what I'm doing, I'm opening that thing up. I got to see. I love your stuff, man.
Oh,
so
thanks,
much fun.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
And anytime I see Blaise or Brian von Burke or anybody, I grab my wallet because it's like, oh my God.
Appreciate
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. What about you, Blake?
When I got back from Legion's Con last year, it hit me harder than it did this year, and not because it wasn't as impactful, but I was supercharged. I came back super full of such great vibes in the time that I got to spend with everybody. And last year was the first Legion's Con that I made it to. 2023. 2024 was just added icing on the cake of wonderfulness and relationships that were built. So I think what really happened for me was, I did miss everybody, and I wish we all lived closer. Like, I thought about maybe we could start a community. I asked Jeremy if they could buy a community out in New Jersey, and we can all start moving there, and we can just all live in this community. I just thought it'd be kind of cool.
That works.
But besides that,
maybe they can
living.
Yeah, maybe they can start selling some timeshares. We all go, all go up there for a couple weeks a year.
Yeah, it's called Legionsville. Wasting away again, Legionsville.
Yeah.
Nice.
I did want to pull up this real quick. I got sent this picture from Guaisagüe. Said his son painted this up. So
his son painted that one, I believe. Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
What a great family. Gosh,
I know. I love those guys.
So fun.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I really love about Legion's Con is just the family vibe about it. Like it's you started seeing some folks bringing their spouse and then bringing their kids, and now it's like become this whole family event. And you still got people like having fun and drinking and all this kind of stuff, but it never gets out of control.
No,
like it's still
wild.
A good family atmosphere.
And the staff comments that all the time about how they love seeing us there because, it's a respectful group and there's no trouble. Believe it or not, right? I mean, there's a lot of booze happening. Yeah. Lots of booze going.
Yeah.
But people are, for the most part, responsible. And, I think there's a certain level of understanding that we, for the sake of the relationship the horsemen have with the hotel too, right? Like we want to be able to be invited back and be welcomed in the future. So nobody wants to screw that up.
No,
absolutely.
So good.
Yeah. I would say for me, I thought, so coming out of Legion's Con, I'd had this idea to come up with this new channel that I was going to do on customizing and stuff. And I'm like, oh, it'll be real easy because I'm already doing customizing stuff anyway. So then I just film it and I just put whatever I'm working on. I could just film it, throw it on there. but then like basically what turned out is that I'm stupid. And all the filming and editing and splicing it together and post, like that stuff all takes time. And so that is actually taking time away. Like I've only completed one full custom so far since Legion's Con, but I've been working the whole time. Like it's not like I'm not doing anything, but yeah, it's just been super time consuming. But then I get messages from like Guaisagüe, or I get messages from Dub3 say, oh, I picked up this thing you recommended, or I started painting this because you got me excited. And it's like, okay, this is actually more important than having one more custom done, you know? So
awesome. I was actually going to share with you, Curtis, that I've been watching your tutorial on painting ice, because I've been very intimidated about painting ice. So I've been learning a lot from your videos. So I appreciate what you have to share there.
Yeah, I had somebody comment on one of my videos. They're like, because I did it like on these cards so that I could, like, people could actually see what I'm doing and I could walk through the steps. And I had somebody comment, well, yeah, you're painting them on these big cards. Like anybody can do that. It's the same stuff though. It's the same steps. It's just if I did it on a 1/12 head with a magnifier, you wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing, and I wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing because I'd be focused on, you know, where the camera is. But yeah, hopefully it helps somebody. So that's just the goal, you know. I'm definitely no sort of expert or anything, but I've picked up some things over the years from people, and if I can share some things and it helps somebody, great. But yeah, so that's been kind of taking up my time. But what about you, Jesse? What you got been going on since Legion's Con?
I'm here. Yeah, it's
didn't you have some sort of deal with the graveyard skeletons for Wolf King or something?
Yes. So yeah, I'll be doing a bunch of new exclusive heads for those. It was like a special deal Len had. I forget how it was worded. I don't want to misquote it, but it was I don't remember, but yeah, so 4 new heads, and there's a bunch of them. So we're working on getting those designed and printed. Those are showing up a lot faster than we expected. So I'm going to be real busy with those in the not too distant future once I get the graveyard skeleton hands to match the paint. Yeah, I mean, I've been working on stuff in my place, you know, cleaning some stuff up. I've been really working on going through and kind of cataloging some of my old artwork and sketches from some of my old stories. So I could bring them into my iPad and start working on some old sketches and stuff. So that's been probably the biggest creative thing I've been working on.
That's cool.
And some customs, you know, I've been like swapping some parts around, figuring some stuff out to do, but I haven't like sat down to focus on customizing as of yet.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
Awesome. What, you know,
real quick, Terrence is saying, Curtis, it's helpful, you big lug. You're giving us the power to do things we weren't doing before, getting the knowledge.
Well, thank you.
Right.
I really do appreciate that. Man, we've got a big year ahead of us just in terms of like stuff coming from the Horsemen. I mean, there's just a crazy amount of things, not only new stuff to purchase, but just stuff that we've already purchased that's coming in this year. What is the thing that like you guys are really looking forward to that's set to arrive this year?
Wow. That's so
much.
That's a tough one.
A lot.
I mean, I'll kind of get it rolling. I love the Templars, and I know between the Elijah in Necro and then the Enoch in All-Star 6, like I think I've got like 25 between the two of them ordered. And I'm so excited for those things, man. They are so good. I think as much as people have loved the Valiant Knight and then obviously the Armory experience, like these knights that are coming from Necro and All-Stars are going to be that much better, you know? In standard figure price, like the fact that Enoch with full decked out soft goods, tunic, cape, everything, extra hands, weapons, extra head is a $37 standard figure. Like that is mind blowing. Just crazy.
Well, it was.
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah. Or, well, I guess on their, I'm not sure what it'll be on, like if they have it in stock, I guess it'll be like 45 or whatever. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know. We'll kind of work our way around. Blake, what about you? What you excited for?
Oof, a lot. There's a lot out there. I'm excited about the Stavros. I like the Rakagors. So I like Stavros, the BBTS exclusive. It's supposed to hit around March. So I'm pretty excited about that. And of course, Necronominus. I mean, that's one of my favorite factions. So, there's just so much goodness in there, and part swaps and capabilities of, just the standard figures alone. Like, I think we all have the tendency to start thinking about how we're going to mix and match, but just the standard figures are just rock stars. That wave is just going to be amazing. And, can't wait to get that. So between Stavros and Necronominus, I mean, there's lots of stuff. The book is going to be a great, like, and Trevor's artwork in there and his pictures and everything. I mean, they barge, and there's just so much to talk about. But I'd have to go Stavros and Necronominus.
I mean, I know soft goods isn't the same as like the plastic parts in terms of like trying to get the reuse out of tooling and stuff. But man, I would love to see some more of that tunic that Stavros comes in, like for ogres. Like that would be cool to see, whether it's on another one down the road, or if they just put that out as an actual like accessory pack or something. I just think that tunic piece that he's wearing is super cool. So
I could see that tunic being a template for a new cosmic ogre scale creature.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be, cool. I mean, obviously the design they got on there is like the BBTS design kind of thing. But I mean, just even the shape of it, like if they did other ones in different colors, same shape, like that would just be really neat. So, Brian, I don't even know if I need to ask you with all the skeletons we got coming out. I'm sure it's going to be, if I had to guess off the top of my head, I would say Terpiculi, but yeah, what do you
yeah Necronominus for sure. I'm super stoked for that and I mean, that's a gimme. I don't need to really get into that too much, but I'm excited about 3.0 3.0 bodies. I mean, this is really an interesting move. It's something there's been resistance over time. I mean, I get the idea of minimizing cuts on a figure to really kind of enhance the look, the silhouette of a figure. When you start doing double joints and, these ab crunches, it starts to break away from kind of the art form. So there's a purist kind of mentality out there about not having so many broken up lines. But I'm really digging this idea. I'm really curious to see how this is going to turn out. I mean, I know it's going to turn out awesome, but I'm just really excited to see it. But Necro all the way, man. Yeah, I can't wait. The skeletons, of course, the pack that's coming. I'm all in. I'm super stoked. Yeah, those are my guys, boneheads. I love.
I mean, I can tell you what,
meatless men.
The nights that I get that have the extra skeleton head or face or whatever, I'm throwing that stuff right out. Like, we need those skeletons. We need knights. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and there's just so many different pieces. Like I was saying with the taking those apart, I feel like people are gonna use these almost like Legos. Like they're gonna have all these just bones from different creatures just laid out, and then All-Star 6, you've got that heads pack with all the different the animal skulls and things like that. The amount of creativity and things that people are going to come up with is just off the chart. Like it's going to be crazy. So, Roberto, what about you?
So I'm mostly a cosmic guy. That's kind of my niche area that I'm really interested in. And I'm looking forward to seeing adding new sculpts to the collection with the waves that are supposed to be arriving this year, right? With the Arc Screw wave coming in. I mean, I love a lot of the versions of the different. I mean, it's amazing all the things you can do with the components of the Tusk sentries and whatnot. But I'm really looking forward to these new bodies and new pieces and seeing how that's going to work.
And Uka and all that.
And also the new like Ularia Spear and Velok Spear, who have those kind of bigger, almost mech type astronaut bodies, So it's kind of a new canvas to work with outside of the more typical Tusk Sentry type of body that has been used in so many creative ways up until that point. So I was just thinking the other day that the parts library is starting to become like its new kind of medium now, right? Like it's almost like the Horseman provide us. It's a new kind of clay, right? All these pieces and all these components are kind of like the clay that we then get to mix and match and create all these things with. So the more that you add to that universe, the more creative you could be. I mean, that example of the horse Nate did there, the horse creature is a great example of that, right? So adding, Cosmic hasn't had new sculpts brought into the line for a while, so it'll be nice to see those being brought in this year. Really looking forward to that. Excited about the comic book as well. Go and seeing what the final product of that ends up looking like also.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, as far as the parts library goes, I remember when I first got in the line, there were so many people that were looking for Black Series parts and looking for old Lord of the Rings parts, so that you would just have enough fodder and things that you could add to your characters to make new creations. And now there's so many parts in the parts library. I mean, pretty much every time that they do a new figure obscura, that's new parts. Every time they do a G-Con wave, that's new parts. The Cosmic, you're getting new parts. So it's like, it's just been this influx of new parts over the last couple of years that's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, I can even imagine down the road, what will the armory experience look like?
Oh yeah,
if you were to incorporate, from across Cosmic and from across different creatures, not just armor parts, but all sorts of other pieces.
Like a boneyard experience.
Yeah,
like a boneyard experience.
Yeah.
I like that name too. I like that.
Yeah.
Boneyard experience.
I saw that Terrence mentioned in the comments werewolves. That's another thing too. I think I was talking to somebody about the Figura Obscura line, and how they did for this last Legions Con, they did the super alien creature pack idea, right? Of these, two figures, bunch of cool pieces, and you can kind of mix and match. And I was thinking you could take that idea of the creature pack and do it in different lines. So you could do a creature pack for Figura Obscura that could be a werewolf. And how cool would it be to have the parts to both do the full werewolf, the full human, and everything in between as the creature, cool. Human becomes a werewolf.
That would be awesome.
It would be kind of a cool idea to take that concept of the creature creator and apply it to other areas of the lines as well.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing, is those exclusive packs have just had so many different parts in it. It's like you figure out what two figures you're gonna make, and then you got this leftover just pile of stuff, and it's like, it's just creates.
Get yourself a bunch of those barbarian bear parts, and then go to town with all that extra stuff.
Hey man, I got 20 sets at Legions Con. I'm drowning in those things.
Dang, dude, awesome.
Speaking of figure obscura, wouldn't it be kind of cool to get a Pacific Northwest tribute Sasquatch figure?
Oh, there you go. Right,
that'd be cool.
Figure obscura Sasquatch.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, anything like that, I'm sure would go over like gangbusters. So, Blaise, what about you? What are you excited for this year as far as releases?
Well, as far as releases, probably, I mean, the wave I'm most excited for is Rising Suns, but I don't think we're going to get that this year, realistically. So,
it still goes mid-year, but I hear you. There's a good chance that'll slide back.
Exactly. I'm not holding out hope. So that way, if it happens, I'd be pleasantly surprised. But as far as the stuff that we know we're getting, I think All-Stars 6 is probably the wave I'm most excited for, just because, Negronominus is a banger. But then, like, for me, I like the skeletons, but I'm not crazy about them. But All-Stars 6 seem to, like, step it up a notch in the direction of things that I like. Like that Baradoc figure is just ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. So cool.
And it's just, there's just so much potential. So I'm really looking forward to getting that, and I'm also looking forward to getting those chunky Cosmic bodies in Ox Crew as well. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, even I'm not the hugest skeleton fan. I mean, I've got a bunch of them, but I'm not the hugest one. But even the skeletons in All-Star 6, it feels like they kind of went up a little bit, like the Raider, and then the Thrasis with like the holes in his soft goods and stuff. Like, it just so freaking cool.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah. Jesse, what about you?
Well, barring Rising Sun's coming out, if Rising Sun comes out this year, the thing I'm most looking forward to is Neve. But if that doesn't come out this year, is the two, technically three things, because I Necronominus and Conibus go together. Like they're whether they're in the same box or not, like they belong together, in my opinion. I mean, for me. So that is probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most, just because the detail on the sculpts, all the stuff they've put into Necronominus, and just the threat level he is as a character in the story. I'm just really intrigued by all of that, and just to get to look at all those details in person, and getting to be there at G-Con, and Maximilius is up there too, or Maxilius rather. Just because I got to be there on the stage for that reveal. There's a special spot in my heart for that guy. But the other one I'm really looking forward to is Kern Ray from the Ox Crew. Just with her coat, the character design, the, just as is. Yeah, there's a bunch of new parts that we'll get from her, but just that character, that when we didn't really know what her story was before Ox Crew 2 came out, she was the one that was probably the most intriguing to me out of that wave. So those are the things I'm looking forward to the most.
Plus, depending on how you display her, you may turn out having an extra probe droid out of it as well. So,
and of course, right, we don't know what figure obscuras are coming this year. I know if there's more Gods of Egypt this year, I'll be really excited for those, because that's probably been my favorite ones out of figure obscura. So the figure obscuras are probably always going to land pretty high up too, but we don't know what they are. So just that they will happen at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. What else? I mean, anything that you guys are watching or into that lately that, anything on TV or anything that you're excited for?
I'm waiting for Severance to start back up. I love that show, and I thought it was, Jeremy had told me a while back that some of the props for the show had been done upstairs. And
oh, really?
Wow.
Oh, that's cool. I know that.
That cemented my love for it.
I gotta catch back up on that. I'm way behind on that show.
Do you guys have anything to say to Carlos?
Hey, Carlos!
Yeah, Severance is good. Man, I tell you what, Jesse and I talk about this all the time, but as far as streaming services go, I think you get the most bang for your buck with Apple TV than any other streaming service. Like, I
think they have the most consecutive good quality original programming out there. It's them and HBO, as far as I'm concerned.
Underrated shows, man. I swear, Apple has just the most underrated. The brilliant shows.
But I think part of what they're able to do with Apple TV is because it's not a money maker for them. It's really about supporting shows and showcasing shows that they really believe is quality stuff, right? So they don't have the most extensive library, but they make sure to select really quality projects for that. So
I mean, Jesse and I were just talking about we're in the middle of Silo. We got I think there's one more episode.
It's a great show.
If you haven't watched
season finale next week, finale.
If you haven't watched For All Mankind, I highly recommend
that show is off the hook.
Fantastic show. It's basically an alternate history show of what would have happened had the Russians arrived at the moon before the Americans. If the space race had been won by the Russians, and then how that one event triggers a whole series of different changes throughout history because of that one event.
Yeah,
and it's a series.
It's a series. It's going into season 4 or 5, I believe. But every season is about 10 episodes long, so you could get caught up pretty quickly, and it's just a very well done show.
It's really good.
Well, every season is like a different decade too.
Right.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have people questioning if the moon landing was real if it had happened in Russia.
There you go.
Yeah, that doesn't happen now, Jesse.
Ever.
Yeah, one of the cool things about it is that it is kind of a new decade every season. So at the beginning of every season, you get a news recap of kind of like how things in history are different before.
And they're real time historical events too, which is cool.
Yeah.
They blend it.
It's kind of like a what if for real life, huh?
Exactly. It's a what if. It's a total. It's more than a sci-fi show. It's an alternate history type of program. Kind of along the lines of if you ever saw The Man in the High Tower, it's kind of like that. Like what if in this case, the Russians that won the space race kind of thing. So
beautiful. Yeah, I just wrote that down. I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Definitely check it out.
Did you guys?
Dylan, you're not real.
I know Blake. I know Blake has seen this, but have you guys checked out that? Is it Secret Lab for Amazon? The Warhammer.
Yes.
Oh my
secret
God,
level.
dude.
Secret level.
Yeah.
Holy moly, that was awesome.
And the Warhammer one.
The Warhammer.
I mean, obviously,
That
I think you guys know by
that episode specifically is the highlight of the series. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was
me
brilliant.
being a huge Warhammer fan. Yeah, that one just blew my mind away.
Yeah, it was good.
Have you guys watched Lioness season 1 or season 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one?
What is it?
Lioness. It's on
That's a Paramount show, right?
Paramount Plus. Yeah. And then I went and saw Den of Thieves yesterday, part 2, and I love Den of Thieves, the first one, and that movie is awesome. So if you saw the first one, or if you want to have a good action with Gerard Butler, 1 and 2, you can't go wrong.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
The first one is, I know that the first one is on Max. It's on HBO Max. So if
That's
you're
correct.
not familiar with the series, you can get caught up with that one first and then go see the sequel.
Very cool.
I loved if you have into any of the movies in the Oscar race. Brian and I got to see the Substance on the flight out to Legion's Con.
Wow, that movie was rough.
It's a crazy movie, but it's a really interesting film, and I would recommend watching that one. And also in Netflix, there's a movie called Emilia Perez, which is very good as well. It's a very weird blend of it's a Spanish-speaking film set in Mexico, directed by a French director, and it's a musical. It's all over the place. Blake, you've been watching Lioness, that has Zoe Saldana in it. So she is in Emilia Perez. She's one of the lead actors.
Oh, I'm in there. I mean, if it's Zoe Saldana, I'm in. I don't care if it's Zoe Saldana, the cartoon.
But she's speaking Spanish the whole time, so just so you know, it's kind of a different take on her. So it's really.
I'm not listening to her words, Roberto. I'm not listening to what she's saying.
But I would recommend those definitely.
I mean, just the way that you described that sounded like it hit all the wrong points for me.
Yeah.
It's
an acquired taste.
It was like
musical.
Yeah, it was going down the wrong path, and then you hit musical, and I'm like,
an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Not for everybody.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you guys doing Mezco? Did you guys pick up Doc today?
Nocturnal.
I didn't do the Doc Knock. I've picked up a few here and there, but I'm very much a pick and choose kind of guy with Mezco. I don't do it all. So
yeah, it'll break the bank, man.
Yeah,
I get like one a year maybe.
Yeah, their turtles last year were amazing. So
were they?
I loved those.
Nice.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Them doing that with the Doc Knock when there's still people that haven't gotten theirs yet.
Yeah, I know,
right?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I still haven't even gotten a shipping notice on mine yet. So
yeah,
it's like I've just kind of wiped it off. Like if I hadn't seen it in person at a buddy's house, I would have canceled 100%. But like having laid hands on it and messed around with it, I'm like, oh, this is just too cool. I got to get this guy. So
yeah,
I got so lucky that one of the vendors there at Legion's Con had 2 of them that they actually were selling, and I bought it there because I thought maybe I wouldn't get it. And that was a good grab.
Very cool. Nice. What else? What are you guys going to any shows this year? You got anything? I mean, obviously we all go to Legion's Con, but you guys got anything else before that you guys are doing?
No.
I'm getting the itch to maybe go to Toylanta just because my dad lives in Atlanta, and I'm thinking, well, I could go visit him, and then as a bonus, go to Toylanta from. But I don't.
Or is it the other way around?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to work it out, but it's been one just out of curiosity more than anything, and of course now the incentive of having that cool ATL 25 figure that they announced.
That figure looks amazing.
Looks so good. That I'm like, oh man, I could do that and maybe get that exclusive there, but we'll see.
I'd like to be an exhibitor at that show one of these days. Maybe next year. Next year, pack up and head out. Pack your bags, Roberto. We
have a place to stay in Atlanta. We can stay with my dad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun figure. I don't know that I need the exclusive parts. Like the exclusive parts are like the robot head, the like I don't know, the electrical weapon or whatever, and then the shield.
And the shield.
So I don't know that I need any of those. So I could just wait for the regular release.
Right.
But it's man, it's just super cool. Like I just want to get one in hand as soon as possible. It's nice.
Yeah, and it kind of again shows you, I know that it's not officially a cosmic figure, but I mean, there's been so much clamoring for things like Space Marines and things like that, and that's right up the alley with that.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think you were talking a little bit about Ox Crew and those kind of like those suits that are going to be coming.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there's going to be some people doing some Warhammer stuff, just some exoskeleton suit kind of things. Like, I think there's going to be some amazing customs coming out of those figures.
Yeah, even taking those and painting them in that camouflage style is going to look really cool.
Yeah,
absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to hit Rose City and Emerald City. Emerald City's coming up in Seattle.
That's right.
And that's a really good show. I know
that is a good
back
show.
in the East Coast, you guys have no clue, but it's a pretty top show out there if you're going to go to a con. So Emerald City is a big one. Rose City is always on the list here in Portland. It seems to get better and better each year. At least stay pretty good, especially with the artists that are available on Artist Alley. It's pretty top notch.
That's more midsummer for Rose City. Is that right, Blake? Is it like midsummer?
Rose City is the weekend always after Labor Day.
Oh, after Labor Day. Okay.
Yeah, and then the Emerald City will be in March.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in the Midwest. I think the closest con to me would be like 7 hours away. Like there's nothing. I don't have anything that I can really drive to. And
You should meet me out there. I'm going to go to C2E2 in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Chicago, born and raised. So up on the north side. So I C2E2. I'm going to probably go home and see the family and then hit C2E2 that weekend.
Nice. I need to get to Kane County at some point. I hear it's just like huge. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to know anything about Kane County? Reach out to Nolan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he goes all the time. He's got a couple videos on his YouTube channel that him at Kane County. It's massive. It's like 5 buildings worth of like figures and toys.
And isn't it just like a one day? Is that right?
No, I think it's a Saturday, Sunday. I think it's a 2-dayer.
Okay. Man, yeah, I hear it's just absolutely huge. Like there's just so much to see, and vintage and new stuff and everything. Like that would be cool. So,
and I heard the prices are really good because you have so much saturation of everybody coming to that they have to jockey their prices, right? They have to make them competitive because there's so much, you might find a certain Joe or a Mezco and 18 other exhibitors have it too. So at that point, it kind of makes it a little more competitive for the customer who's buying.
Yeah.
I was kind of noticing that at Legion's Con this year because there were a few like older, more big ticket pieces I was thinking of getting if I could spot them, and I was checking out what everybody had, and I noticed the prices were really good for some of those like, expensive older Legions or HasLabs that people had. It was like, wow, you could really pick up some good stuff here if you wanted to get it.
I think right now is a really good time in terms of like Legion's prices. If you were getting in and you normally I tell people don't look back, right? Sure. But if there's just like an absolute have to figure that you need to go back and get, this is a pretty good time for it because the prices have been decent. I think there's there's some people getting out of the line. I think there's some people that are like, hey, whatever this figure is, X figure is probably going to get a version 2 at some point. I'm going to sell it now while I can. And so there's a few of that going on. So
that and the fact that the economy is a little tight for a lot of people.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. I mean, I've seen some stuff, like Aether Wave stuff that's selling for pre-order type pricing. And it's like, holy crap. Wow. Like that's, That's
well, we're also getting to a point where there was a lot more of those waves, from Aether up. There's a lot more in hand. It's kind of like same thing with old comics. People weren't protecting them and saving them as long, and the print runs were a lot smaller back in the day. So, but yeah, it's for stuff that is older. There's a lot of good deals. You check out Facebook Marketplace and stuff too, because not everybody joins the cabal. Can find some really good deals.
Definitely,
absolutely.
Absolutely. I've got to step away for 1 second. I'll be right back.
You're gonna leave me alone with these guys? I don't know how to run the show.
Are you guys picking up?
Still,
Are you guys picking up Headhunter?
oh, the ZoloCon exclusive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think that looks great. I'm all over that.
Great.
Like it's not normally something I normally would be kind of interested. Like if someone described that to me, I'd be like, I don't need that. But then having laid eyes on it, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Like honestly, Skullman was one of the best figures I picked up last year. It was like out of nowhere, you know?
Yeah, those boots and the cape, just and the belt. I mean, it all just looks so nice together.
Yeah.
I'm lucky I got somebody in this chat here that's actually going to grab me one. I won't be able to make it to that, but
yeah.
Now these are not ones that are these ones that they make available later on in a limited series or with less custom parts. Or something? Okay.
Yeah.
You just won't get the exclusive parts, which are to the right, which are the components on the right.
I believe this head,
that head.
Yep.
With the flame effect. I can't remember. Was it just the head? I
thought there was an extra cloak. Or am I confusing it with the other Warrior Beast one that they did? I thought there was a different colored cloak as well.
I think you're thinking of Skullman.
That was Skullman.
Skullman had like the white hood that didn't come with the standard release.
Got it.
I'll be able to get this version because I go work. I work Zolo with Wolf King, so I'm right next to the horseman table. Nice. I have no attachment to this line. For me, it's just a cool another mythic figure to have on the shelf. So that I keep these guys with my figure obscura shelf stuff, just because.
That's a good idea.
But if they keep doing more and more, I might have to work them in somewhere else.
Necronominus.
Yeah, there you go.
What are the exclusive pieces on that one? I'm sorry, I might have missed it.
I think it's the green head over here.
Yeah, the flaming head.
The flame thing. Gotcha. Is that a whole head or is that just a neck? Isn't that like a neck attachment that goes under the head?
Looks like it, yeah.
Well, it's the flame piece and the skull. It's the same piece that's in the undead builder pack.
Gotcha.
The blue coloration.
Gotcha.
That was fun.
So the soft goods and everything are still even in the regular build.
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that. I like that belt too. The belt's really nice. So, man, that's another thing. All-Star 6. So that belts pack. Man, I'm so excited for that.
Heck yeah.
So it says the ZoloCon exclusive edition Headhunter will include the bonus skull head with the green spectral energy. So it's just this head over here that's the only thing that's extra with that one, and the packaging will be different.
Gotcha.
Right.
How about that? What was that? It's slipping my mind right now. What was the Glyos Four Horsemen Glyos collaboration? What was that called? It was something Universe.
Infinite.
Infinite
Legions.
Those look fun. I just started kind of lightly getting into Glyos, so I'm just picking very limited picking and choosing. I'm starting to kind of get a spot now where I need to find a shelf for these guys. It was just like a couple. I could just hide them in here and there. Now it's like, okay. I heard it could be
chips. It's interesting you mentioned that, Brian, because just earlier this week, Super 7 announced that they're getting into Micronauts.
I saw that.
In a way, I kind of see Glyos has almost kind of taken over that Micronauts niche a little bit. I mean, because Micronauts was all about interchangeability, and especially kind of at that smaller 3 3/4 scale. I don't know to what extent, and it's funny because the Super 7 is promoting them, and I think the slogan is something like the interchangeable world of Micronauts or something. But I don't see any interchangeability in what they're doing. I'm wondering if it might be. It seems a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to be doing with that down the line. But
aren't they doing it in the reaction line? Is that right?
I think the reaction figures.
It's the
reaction plus,
which is the reaction with the O-ring articulation.
Okay.
So they're taking what they've done with the GI Joes, that they've started to do those O-ring GI Joes, and now transitioning.
And are those swappable on those O-ring GI Joes?
I don't know. I don't know what's swappable. So
they're normal. reaction isn't swappable, right?
I don't believe so,
Yeah.
but they're promoting like if you look at in Big Bad Toy Store or at Super 7, if you look at the card that the Micronauts come in, the kind of the title of it is The Interchangeable World of the Micronauts. So I don't know to what extent that means that there is interchangeability within the figure, or maybe it's just kind of like, oh, that was the slogan that they gave us, so that's what we're using, kind of thing. But I feel like, at one point I was tempted to maybe pre-order those. And then I was thinking, well, first of all, Super 7 has notoriously been discounting stuff left and right when it doesn't sell. So maybe I'll hold off on that. And then I was thinking, in a way, Glyos kind of has taken over. Like a lot of the Onel stuff feels to me like what Micronauts was back in the late 70s. So it's
the Onel stuff is great.
I'm not really sure that there's that much of a need for it if you are into other things like Glyos.
But if you're a fan of Micronauts, like
if you are, right.
Chris from Retro Rags, have you seen his collection?
Chris has a crazy Micronauts collection. Yeah.
Dorklair saying the O-ring figures are typically swappable. I think you unscrew the back and that's all. So if it's like the old
G.I. Joe, that's here.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I guess it's not built into the thing to just be a swap. It's not a pop and swap. It's actually, you need to actually disassemble the figure, right?
No disassemble.
And nothing on the Big Bad page gives any indication that it's designed for
nothing
swapping around. I think they're just using that callback title.
Right.
I'll be honest, I didn't grow up with Micronauts. I don't know how I missed it because it's right in the time frame that I grew up, but I didn't know about them until a couple years ago when I think Jesse brought it up to me. So I have no connection to it whatsoever. So
it kind of got lost because once Star Wars came out, like lines like that one and the Fisher Price Adventure people all got kind of blown out of the water, right? So they were there, but they didn't have the same impact as once Star Wars got into that space. It just kind of took over.
Gotcha.
And shortly after that, G.I. Joe when they went 375. So
wasn't that all based? What was the one with the magnets that was the Japanese toy that was based off of G.I. Joe or inspired by G.I. Joe?
So the Micronauts started off as there's a whole story behind it, and I'm not going to do it justice here, but there was a line of interchangeable and magnetic toys that they got the rights to some of that stuff to make the Micronauts in the U.S. So it is part of one of those kind of similar to how they did it with Transformers, that it was different lines in Japan that then kind of came over and became the Transformers in the US. There was a line like that in Japan. I can't remember what the name of it was. And that kind of is what evolved into the Micronauts in the US market. And if you talk to Chris from Retro Rags, he's not only collecting Micronauts, he's getting into that original Japanese line now too, because he's done with it. He has the full Micronauts collection. Yep. So now he's getting into this additional whole rabbit hole. Microman. I think Legends Collector is saying Microman.
Yep. That's right.
So
I believe he just completed his collection. I think we were talking about
Micronauts.
Micronauts,
So he was telling me now that he's done with that, now he's jumping into the Microman rabbit hole.
Because I looked at on that first episode of the Toys That Made Us, I didn't know that like G.I. Joe inspired Microman or Diaclone. That's it. That's what Diaclone that in turn inspired Transformers, and then because the Transformers over there were just objects. Like there was no real story for them. Right. And then they
what's Diaclone? I'm sorry, I missed. I don't know that.
I'll pull it up, Curtis.
Is that like a form of like Transformer, like the same kind of thing?
It was. It came before.
Or was that more like? Was that like a Mazinkaiser, like coming from that genre? Do you remember Mazinkaiser?
Or is that, or that's what Transformers was in Japan? Was Diaclone? It became Transformers over here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it was different. It was Marvel actually that named all because they got the property, and then they were working with Hasbro It was someone connected to Hasbro and Marvel that came up with all the stories and the backgrounds and all that jazz for the American version of the Transformers and stuff.
Yeah, there's some
like
good info
originally
in chat.
Megatron wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah, and Diaclone also fed into the Macross line, so it's all kind of there was all this interchange and so out of that came Macross, out of that came Transformers. That's why you see some of the designs are shared in those, even though they're not part of the same universe. It's a whole. If you go to Toy Galaxy, who does the channel on YouTube with a lot of history of these properties, he goes pretty deep into this stuff in some of his episodes on Transformers and how all of that got sorted out.
Yeah, because I know Battle Beast kind of came from that Transformers world, and I was talking to Treadaway about that at Legion's Con. Like, if there's one property that I'd love to see them get their hand at and just try would be Battle Beast. And he said it's so confusing with all the stuff and the back and forth between overseas and here, and who actually owns the property and the license that it's hard to say that anybody will ever be able to do it, really.
Yeah. So. Like in some cases, there's not even clarity where the licenses lie. You know, who has rights to what. It's and in the world of He-Man, it's interesting. The late in the original He-Man run, they did those animals that were like eggs that were transforming. Those were another one of those that it was its own toy line in Japan. And Mattel licensed it so they could incorporate it into the He-Man line. So even though it's part of He-Man in here in the US and in other countries where there was a Masters of the Universe line, in Japan it was just kind of its own independent thing that had no connection to He-Man.
That's interesting. It almost made I think a splash, at least in my world, for collecting around this time was Battlestar Galactica. I don't know if you guys ever collected any of the Battlestar Galactica. The Cylons, the Cylon. It was, I don't know why there was something, I don't know. It was a meaty line. It was fun. It would be cool to see some of that stuff come back out.
The problem with the original Galactica toys was that they made two scales. So they had one scale for their ships and a different scale for their figures. And it never took off because you're like, well, you buy a ship and it's the figures that came with the ship were these little mini figures that were literally about an inch tall. And then you had this collection of action figures that had no place to go to. You couldn't. Star Wars had the everything to the right scale, but with Galactica they didn't do that. And then there was the controversy of the kid choking on a missile from one of those Galactica toys. And
that's from the Cylon Raider ship. From the one that shot. Yeah, I still got all those. I actually have those. Those are so awesome. I have them in the box.
The design, character design, ship design, even the pilot suits, like the helmets that look kind of like the Pharaoh had the full on the gate. Dude, the design was amazing on those.
Yeah, the figures on those, and then even the Buck Rogers figures. A lot of people don't talk about those, but the Buck Rogers, Battlestar Galactica, all of them.
And Buck Rogers did have ships to the right scale. You could get vehicles.
Yeah, you could use the Star Wars figures with the Buck Rogers stuff too.
But Galactica did not.
And this will date me a little bit, but don't forget about Space 1999.
Oh, yes.
Those were scaled figures. Yeah, the ships had the head that came off of it. Dude.
Yep. The transport.
Yeah. And so that ship, the Eagle, there's a company now doing basically a replica of that original Mattel
my God.
Not Eagle ship. And it's licensed by whoever used to make the show. You can now get you can get that ship again. A lot more expensive than what it was back in the 70s. But
Diamond Select is just putting out Buck Rogers figures. I don't know if you guys saw that. They have a couple of them. They got what, Tweaky? Or no, not Tweaky. The robot, the little flying robot guy. What's his name? You remember, Brian?
I remember. The only one I remember is Tweaky, but
yeah. Well, what was the girl's name that said booty, 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 booty? She was gold.
Yeah, she's gold. Yeah. let me look real quick because I got.
Is that one that you're talking about with the Eagle? Is that the one that they reused for the Mirage for Silverhawks?
Yes, you are correct.
I'm not sure.
Really?
Because I knew that was a vehicle that
that's
they
funny.
didn't originally make for Silverhawks. It was something that they reused from another
Old
toy
guy
line,
show.
but I never knew what the toy
Trevor.
line was.
Yes.
So that was from that 99 one that you guys are talking
Space 1999. Yeah.
about. Gotcha.
Trevor,
And
maybe
maybe
there
an-
should be like a cap. There should be the 1980s cap on Toy Talk. Like it has to like cap out at 1980s.
Hey, this is what I say. Learn from the OGs here. We'll tell you exactly how it all started.
Yep.
I'm the oldest one on this show. I can guarantee heading towards 60, so I didn't want to hear it.
We're up there. We're up there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're close.
Yeah. I'm looking here, trying to see if I find, because that vintage Mattel Eagle was, I mean, that was an awesome toy. And it's Jerry Anderson Productions were the folks who made the original TV series, and they now have a website where they're doing any officially licensed merchandise. It's through their website, and they're selling that new Eagle ship.
Okay. Then.
Let me see if I can find it here.
Black Hole. That's the one I was thinking of. Black Hole is
Oh, the
Diamond
Black Hole.
Select.
Yeah, you're thinking of,
Yes.
that's the one who flies around is Black Hole. That's not Buck Rogers. Yeah. That
Yeah.
was
And
Vincent was the name of that android.
Yeah, and Diamond Select is bringing back the Black Hole figures. That's what they're doing. You can actually buy them right now.
Yeah.
So this was the Silverhawk Mirage. Is that the same?
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't recognize that
okay.
from Space 1999. No, let me see if I
Okay.
can find it so I can.
I know
share it
it's
with you.
reused from somewhere, but I can't remember where.
That almost looks like Gatchaman, or maybe it's from some of the other Jerry Anderson productions. If you ever saw Thunderbirds or any of those like
Yeah,
marionette
it is.
toys, maybe it's from something by that.
Yeah.
wow.
Cool.
Maximilian there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the Black Hole figures right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that's them.
Bob, that was his
Can't
name.
zoom
The
in.
beat down one.
I can't zoom in.
Bob.
Yeah.
I just
They-
watched
they ain't
that
cheap
movie
either.
again.
Yeah,
Hi, Bob.
Bob was the beat up one, and Vincent
Yeah.
was the cleaned up one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was a great
that was a
flip.
fun show, man. I like a lot of those.
That was
You know,
a
you go back and watch them now, though. You're like, wow, I'm old. You like look at them. You're like, there's only one thing I watched in my childhood. I can sit there and say still stands up, and that would be Star Wars. Like going back
Yeah.
and watching New Hope or something like that.
Yep.
But a lot
I
of the
agree.
shows is you sit there and you're like, oof. Like Flash Gordon, don't even do it. Like
Oh,
Yeah,
come on.
I
The
know.
1980 Flash Gordon is the best movie
I
ever.
love that.
it is excellent, but it doesn't hold up to now. I mean, you watch it you're like,
I don't know, man.
It holds up just the way that it needs to hold up. Like, come on.
Yeah, I disagree with that one. Like, I mean, if you're watching it for the first time, I could see it not holding up. But if you're watching it with that nostalgic lens,
well, yeah, like that, yeah.
yeah. So,
And by the way, here in Portland, there is a theater company that does a musical version of the Flash Gordon movie,
That's
all
so
with
good.
Queen songs. And it,
You know,
You lost me at music.
amazing.
I started watching the.
There it is.
There's the Eagle.
Oh,
There
God.
you
That's
go.
the one that the
I've
Jerry
seen that.
Anderson,
Yeah.
the Jerry Anderson store is selling them.
How much?
but it
How much
looks
was that in back then? Like, what was the retail
I
price
don't
of
know.
that?
Probably $40.
$500.
Yeah,
Probably $49.99.
God,
Yeah.
it was so that lid, that cockpit. Oh
Yeah.
my God,
Look at that, $500 for that.
that
But
is
yeah.
so rad, dude. Look at this, man.
Well, you can buy this or you can buy a dragon for Mythic Legions. I think I know what I'm buying.
Yeah, dragon.
You can
Oh,
you can
that's great.
fight the dragon against this. You could have a little. That's the thing.
There
See,
it
the,
is.
the cockpit. You could remove the cockpit, and it becomes its own little special shuttle. So
Well, Brad from Legion Slayer can put that on top of his aircraft carrier. You know,
Oh my God.
have,
Right.
it, have it land, have it land on the flag.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's awesome. Man, yeah, so many of those toy lines just totally missed me when I was a kid. Like, I don't know.
yeah,
I'm not
they
even
were
aware of
niche.
them.
I mean, Space
Yeah.
1999 was kind of niche. You know, the
Mhm.
fact that it even got that toy is kind of surprising. Because
I wonder
it
if
only
any of that
lasted
stuff was
2
kind of like
seasons.
regional, like maybe it was just depending on what area you're in and stuff too.
Yeah.
Was there some sort of media behind that? Like, was there a TV show or something?
Space
Okay.
1999 was a TV show.
Yep.
It was a TV? Oh, okay.
Yeah, a Jerry Anderson production. So do you remember Thunderbirds? If you're familiar with, they're like the marionette, the puppets. If you watch the movie, Team America World Police is a parody of the old Thunderbirds TV show.
Team America.
Yeah. So Jerry Anderson had done Team America had done Thunderbirds and several other marionette productions like that, and then transitioned into doing live action with actors and stuff. And so Space 1999 he did a show before that called UFO, and then after UFO was Space 1999, and they were live action sci-fi shows, but they had a lot of really cool models. And Jerry Anderson was a master of budget special effects with miniatures. He actually went on to work on many of the James Bond movies in the 70s and 80s with miniature sets and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, there's a whole world of those things that you can dive into and look at. If again, as action figure fans, there's Team America. Yeah. Looking at all the original models of those programs is fantastic stuff.
Yeah, Team America is actually 20 years old now.
Already, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Project Blue Book.
Roberto, you're definitely gonna be my call a friend. If who wants to be a millionaire, I'd like to call a friend to the toy topics. Toy history.
So Project Blue Book was another sci-fi. Now I always confused Project Blue Book with UFO. Yeah, there you go. There's look at that.
How much is it? $14.99?
$14.66.
Oh, excuse me.
Wow.
Weird. I got sent this by Dork Player just sent me this link. So
look at
It's
that.
a Micronaut.
Wow.
Is this like an ad, like a series?
Oh, I
It's
saw
like
those
JCPenney.
figures on the right. That's awesome. I remember the figures on the right there.
Micronauts.
it's from a JC Penney catalog.
JC Penney catalog. Rock'em Sock'em. Oh my god. Look at this.
Yeah, I like when Dork Layer does his Christmas catalog show every year, and he goes back and does this. It's so fun.
Biotron.
I can't believe that Space 1999. That's amazing. That was $15. That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
1977. Is that what it is? Yeah.
That's right about right.
Yeah. And so that little part in the front just like came out. It's a little.
You see the engine and the larger ship and the cockpit and
You
the
take them out
front.
and put them together.
You pull them apart and they become a little shuttle. Yep.
Gotcha.
And then the station's there. It's an operation station. And you can fly away in your little shuttle.
Right.
Okay, so I just looked up how much $20 is in 1977. What the purchasing power is now, it'd be $104.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's still not bad.
Yeah.
I like that chest radio amplifier is almost as much as that ship.
Right.
The electronics.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah.
Man, if my parents said I only had $15 for Christmas, I know which one I'm getting.
Right.
The karaoke machine, right?
No,
Yeah.
not the karaoke.
Yeah,
With
it's
three
just a
fingers.
glorified microphone and speaker
This
there.
is
Yeah.
crazy too. This Biotron.
All right.
So
Yes.
if you look at what Super 7
Micronauts.
is doing, Super 7 is taking that Biotron figure and releasing it as a 3.75 figure. So it was a big figure because the figure you have in his chest there, that's a 3.5.
That's a 4-inch figure.
Yeah,
right?
guys.
So the Biotron was more of a vehicle, but what Super
Yeah.
7 has done is take that Biotron and shrunk it down to 3.75.
They're doing the
And-
same thing with their Baron Karza figure.
The
Though,
Baron
'cause
Karza
if you
figure,
remember
exactly.
that was like a big
Mhm.
centaur-looking figure.
Yeah. The idea was that they were those were kind of the chunkier, bigger things, and then in some cases, like that Biotron, they were a vehicle. They could turn into a vehicle. So
Mhm.
Guaisa, where Guaisa is so nostalgic, feeling the nostalgia here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
But
is
yeah,
fun.
what Orchid says, I almost feel like Glios has filled in that niche for things like Micronauts, and
See, like this was my jam.
the
Little
Migos.
Migo superheroes.
Oh
Heck
my
yeah.
god!
man.
Right.
Good
Look at those
stuff.
vehicles.
Well, and it was
That's
so funny
great.
because they had the licenses for
Like the
both
bus.
Marvel and DC, so you could mix them all up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't even think of that.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So you could have everything was Spider-Man versus the Joker and all this crazy stuff.
$324 each for those Migos, or 2 for $598.
Look at those guys. Those are great.
That was when they would do crazy prices, like use the change.
Yeah.
Like
97, right? 1097,
yeah.
1288.
Yeah, look at that. You can get two action figures or 1 gallon of gas today. You know, it's your choice.
You could get Captain Puerto Rico too. I see there.
Well, didn't Amigo had the Star Trek license? They had Planet of the Apes. You could mix and match. Yeah. You could have the craziest parallel universe storylines play out with those toys.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Good stuff.
Too much stuff.
Man. I know we've done this a couple times on OffWorld, where it's like we've talked about, if you could time travel and you go back to 1 year and go into a toy store with, say, a couple $100.
Mm-hmm.
What year would you go to, and what would you be going after?
78.
Star Wars all the way. 12 back cards.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yep. 78.
78, 79, that would have been the sweet spot there for a lot of that Star Wars stuff. And also, if you really wanted to get into rarities, ordering some of the Star Wars figures, you could only mail order with the UPC symbols.
Yeah.
You could get the Boba Fett. My first Boba Fett was the mail order Boba Fett. That was the one, which it was promised with the shooting missile, but by the time they released it, it didn't have a shooting missile. So
because kids are getting caught in their throat.
Yeah.
That was
I have a soft spot for the Fisher Price Adventure people, which is the reason that the Fisher Rice figure was such a big highlight for me this last year, because those were to me some of the best toys, and those things take a beating and keep on going. I still have some of my original 1977, 78 Fisher Price figures, and those things are just like brand new.
They're cool.
That's 1978 OddWorld. That's a good one too. Whoever just brought that one up.
I don't think I know that one either.
Yeah, I don't know OddWorld.
So I got a question for you, Roberto. When are you going to start your own channel and talk about because I mean, you literally know it. I mean, everyone brings up the subject and you're like, oh yeah, back in 1943.
Oh, useless.
How about a $6 million man?
Oh my god, I had one. You could see through his eye. Remember behind his head? The magnifying glass.
Yeah.
I actually had that watch. I don't know why, but I had that watch. the $8.44 watch.
Look at spacesuit. That's amazing.
I think my mom got it for you for Christmas.
Yeah, that's cool.
Those are awesome.
A little oxygen supply.
Oh yes, and his arm opened up, and you could see his electrodes and everything. I remember that. So cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at Maskatron. That's a cool number 12.
Yeah, that's cool.
God, he's cool looking.
He was never in an actual episode, wasn't he? Was like just a toy, right? Maskatron.
Was he? I don't remember him in the show.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think he was actually in the show.
Okay. Where's the Sasquatch? We need to see the $6 million man Sasquatch.
Tonka, you had to have some Tonka.
I love these clippings here. These.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
And Dark Layer sent me this link. I could sit here and look at this stuff all day.
Oh, look at that van! Oh my god!
There's
a little ambulance.
That rescue van. That's an Adventure People figure. I don't know. Is that Tonka? I think it's Tonka though. No, it looks like an Adventure People, but it's not.
Yeah, I think this stuff's all Tonka.
Oh my god! Look at that Tonka.
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
I have no idea what the 78 OddWorld toys are, because all I'm finding and all I can think of is like the computer game, like Abe's.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that's what he was talking about.
And Curtis, those $6 million man figures, they showed Maskatron, like you said, Brian. That one had really cool. It had a robot head that you could swap out the faces, and one of them was the Steve Austin face. So you could have a second imposter Steve Austin, and they were crazy how they would work. And then the Oscar Goldman, which was his boss, had an exploding suitcase. It had a suitcase that if you didn't open it the right way, it would blow up. Otherwise, it would keep all of the stuff intact.
Oh, that's funny.
Really, really cool stuff.
That's
cool.
awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Cool stuff, man. That's when toys were toys. I mean, let's face it, we're living in the golden age of toys now. Like,
absolutely.
Oh my God.
I mean, the best part about today, on top of the toys just being so much cooler, is that we have money.
Right. Well,
Right.
and it's a market geared more for the collector than it is what it used to be, which is for playing, right? It was
Right.
The toys were built differently back then. Their purpose was to be beaten up and used.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but don't let your dog get a hold of your Chewbacca. I can tell you that right now, because you ain't getting that Chewbacca back. So
Chewed up
code for
Chewbacca.
something?
It'll be Chewy Baka.
yeah, it was definitely a Chewbacca after that. It was bad.
If I could go back, it would either be mask figures,
Oh,
Oh, Mask. That's right.
Battle
Never had-
Beasts, or Starcom.
Battle Beast.
Ooh, that'll
Absolutely.
be a good one. That I might have to choose that. I normally, in the past, I would have said superpowers, but I'll be honest, the McFarlane superpowers that they've been putting out has scratched that itch for me.
it has.
I love the packaging for it. They look so good.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think Battle Beast might be the way to go for me.
Nice.
Real quick, Guy Segway sent us a $1.99 super chat. Such a great episode. Thank you,
Awesome.
Guy.
Oh God.
Echevarria! That's kind of his David Wappa. Wepa Echevarria!
Jesse, what was the third one that you mentioned? You mentioned
Starcom.
Starcom. What? I don't remember that.
They were like, what I want to say, like maybe later in the 80s, maybe even, yeah, it was late 80s. They were
Starcom.
little guys. They had like magnetic plates and like it was like space sci-fi
Kind
stuff.
of like Micronauts a little bit.
Okay.
And like there was usually some sort of like mechanized action feature. So like you'd hit a button and like the wings would like motorize down.
Oh, nice.
Or there's magnets, so a ship could like pick up a cargo container and stuff. It was
Okay.
yeah,
They had a
there
cool-
it is.
They had a
Oh,
cool
that's cool.
ship. That ship's cool.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool.
There was like a whole
Yeah.
like command center that had like I think like a motorized like tram or something.
Wow.
It was just really cool stuff. I had one. It was like a
Wow,
little
this thing-
cargo. Like
This thing's big. It's really nice.
yeah. They
And
were
they-
really
It's not
cool.
coming in. Sorry.
Did it have figures? Did it have
Yeah, they had little guys. They had
little guys?
they were they would sit like in the cockpit or whatever, but they were small. I've
Cool.
got one. It's Uncle Bob's telling me to show it. So I'll go
It's
grab it.
1986 was the, and here's another one of the ships there. I don't
Yeah,
know if
so
it's going
that
to
was
come in.
probably a little too late for me. By that time, I was, in high school and thinking about girls and stuff. So I wasn't so much into the toy stuff at that point.
I was in high school too, and I was thinking about girls and toys. So, I mean, the toys never stopped. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, you want to go to the dance? Are you going to go to the dance?
Like-
No, I'm going to wait and go and save some money so I can buy some Star Wars figures or something,
Okay. So
Here's,
there's those
uh,
little figures there.
Oh wow,
Okay.
they're tiny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, let me blow myself
Almost like
up.
what, like 2 inches tall on those guys?
Those are cool.
Where is it? There we go. So I mean, it's like 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. Yeah, for the guys.
Okay.
They got the arm. They got some heads like tilt and turn.
They
And
have
the
a
knees
pivot
actually
there.
articulated, which I thought
Oh,
was
wow.
really cool.
Oh, that's
wow.
cool.
Wow.
They've got little magnets in their feet, and this is the one I have. I got this from Uncle Bob.
Oh,
It's
cool.
got like a little magnetic plate here,
So
and
he'll
like
just-
he'll stand on it.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
But then they also have this like button feature. If I can figure out where the button is.
And Uncle Bob is a place to go for that. He gets all kinds of cool stuff. He's always posting it.
Wow.
Where's the button? I can't find the button. I just did it.
That's what she said.
Couldn't find the button or just 2 inches. But
Oh, there it is.
which time are you talking about?
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
look at that. What?
Yeah, that's
Whoa.
cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Now is
So
that
it turns into that
motorized?
little transport. Yeah, it's got a little. It's there's nothing to wind up. It's just like kind of spring action loaded.
Okay,
Wow.
but it doesn't
It's
require batteries or anything. It's just kind of
Nope.
nice. It's a mechanical thing.
And that's
Yep,
impressive
like
that
the
the spring
cars-
still
like
works.
the cars you pull back,
Right.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, that's really cool.
But yeah, this was one he had in the shop
Wow.
a couple months ago or earlier last summer or something.
Oh, that's the.
This is 85.
Oof.
I remember that Rancor.
I gotta
let's
check
see.
with Uncle Bob and see if
Rancor was $9.99 for the Rancor.
For that Rancor? Wow.
Yeah.
What about that
Well,
shuttle? That shuttle Tiberium there. How much was that Imperial shuttle and that?
Oh my God.
The $27.99.
Okay.
Oh,
So
Well, that's it. Now we figured out why the HasLab failed. It was too much.
Yeah.
The old one was only $9.99.
yeah.
And that I think that was the old robot shop or the Android builder that came with a lot of. That was an interesting
Yeah,
toy that had
it's,
all these pieces and you could build different robots with them.
There's so much cool stuff.
Math.
Oh my gosh.
Jason,
Oh yeah,
Jason
the
Road
Droid
Warriors.
Factory.
Droid Factory.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what it
that's
was
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
Because that was like
Yeah.
Jabba's Chop Shop, right? Supposed
Well,
to
but
be.
it
They've
was
got it
they
listed
reissued it as Java's Chop Shop. Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
they got a list of Jabba Dungeon playset
Yeah.
for $7.99. So
It was a reissue of the Droid Builder toy.
Yes.
Yeah. The Droid
And
Factory.
Jabba the Hutt came with his little buddy, the little guy, Mr. that
Lizard
guy.
monkey,
Yeah.
delicious crumb.
Oasis Crumb.
Salacious Crumb. Yeah.
That was pretty good.
B. He has a middle initial too.
There's all of the classic vintage.
Ooh, that's
a lot
nice.
of He-Man. Yeah. I mean, this is 85, so this is like prime He-Man territory.
What a great year.
Yeah.
And that's G.I. Joe. Is that big?
that's
Is that the flag?
Well,
The flag.
it says
Flag.
aircraft carrier, $109. I don't know. Is that the flag?
$109.
I don't
Ooh,
think
the
it's
whale.
flag, though.
There's the whale.
Man.
Oh, the hovercraft. I had a
Yes.
friend that had that. I wanted to steal that thing so bad. But it was
I guess
cheap.
you're-
Like, it would, yeah.
Yeah.
There we
Oh,
go.
there it is.
Dang.
Holy shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, $109 for it.
Yeah, the hydrofoil.
I don't think you're gonna find it for $109 now.
No.
So
If you do, buy it.
they got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shipwrecks on it. 7 shipwrecks. They got
mean,
shipwrecks all over the place.
And they look minuscule. They look
Yeah.
so tiny on top of that thing.
I know.
I mean, that's a lot of shipwreck. It's covered in semen, really.
Oh my God.
Hey, Brian, a minute you were saying something about checking with Uncle Bob. What were you gonna check with Uncle
Yeah,
Bob?
I need to
for?
check. I have a soft spot for Shogun Warriors, like the old 1977.
Ooh, those are cool.
Oh,
24.
yeah.
Yes.
So I gotta look up some of those. Look up some of those vintage. See if he's got some.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, if you ever I know a lot of you guys, because where you are, you fly to Legion's Con. Driving that far would be insane. But if you come out this way for something and have time to come to Central Pennsylvania, his shop is pretty cool.
Nice.
yeah, I stopped through on the way back from Legion's Con, and it was really cool.
Cool. Yeah. Ooh, Godzilla. Yeah, the Godzilla Shogun Warrior with the fist.
Oh, that was so
He had,
nice.
he had the tongue that came out. And, oh my God.
That's the one that Jeremy just picked up at that toy show last year, wasn't it? Didn't he find one of those
Did
at
he?
Toy Lands or something? And he got one that was in really good condition.
It's hard to find one of those that's got everything functional because either the fist
Yeah.
breaks or the tongue
Yeah.
breaks. Or...
Missiles are gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was there
Yeah.
one that like slid across his tail and did like the double foot kick into?
Put some wheels on the tail so it could do that. Yeah.
And
Oh my God.
I tell you what, I'm looking through 85. They had Voltron and Transformers and He-Man and Star Wars. Like, holy cow! Like
85 was a good year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
85 had a lot of shit. So yeah.
There they
Look
are,
at
the
those.
Shogun Warriors. Yeah.
Those
Oh,
things
yeah,
are
yeah,
awesome.
Yes.
And
I
that's
think
one of
there's a
those
better
too that
picture.
it was a Japanese import, and so certain characters made it to the States, and the Godzilla was not or in the original Japanese line. That was done for the States.
Not coming up.
I mean, those are cool, but they're no Omnibot 2000. So,
oh yeah, the future is here.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that thing.
There's an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the Omnibot. It's a Christmas episode where he's remembering one time that he stole an Omnibot or something. It's pretty funny.
Was there a smaller one? Was that like a smaller version?
Yeah, that hold on, let me share it again.
But it had the tape deck in it because
holy shit,
my brother had it
superpowers,
programmed.
85 is my year. Yeah, there's the little
right here
down here.
I think the middle one with the red eyes is the one my brother had.
That's the one I remember. Yeah,
that one was
like a tape deck and had a
$229.
Wow.
How much was it?
$229 for the mid one. The big
Wow.
one, the 2000 was $449.
That's really expensive back then.
Yeah.
And it was futuristic because it said 2000.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the telling
program
factor.
it to like,
but like this
Oh,
right
there
here,
you go.
This is my jam. Like
That's awesome.
man, 85 is packed. Holy cow.
It is.
All of Justice, $28. Oh gosh, I'd love
Look
to
at
have
that,
one of
man.
those again.
Especially for $28.
Heck yeah. Man, I love that Hall of Justice. And the Superman vehicle, which I never understood why Superman, he already can fly. Why does he need a flying vehicle? But whatever, it's cool, man.
Because he can.
That Batmobile.
so
is
you
awesome.
can buy it.
Yeah.
That Batmobile. I love that style.
Oh yeah,
of
that's
Batmobile
my favorite
too.
Batmobile. I think because that's the one that they would roll up when they were helping out on Scooby Doo. They would roll up in that Batmobile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh man, this has been a ton of fun. I've been good.
This is awesome.
Absolutely.
So, what else you guys got coming up? Anything that you guys going to be on anywhere? You got anything going on that people should know about? Just kind of go around, or where people can find you on the socials and whatnot. We'll start with Blake. What you got?
Well, I was honored to be on the Lair last week, which was cool. So you can catch that on the Rewind, which was fun. Hang out with Brad.
You have had a great tour. That was cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I couldn't get my camera to flip around, but I was able to still pull it off with my tablet. So that was cool.
Yeah, it worked. It worked. It was good enough.
Yeah. So you can find me at ReconRage page at IG. Just working on some stuff. Paul G's Customs. I wanted to throw this out from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Paul G's, if you guys have seen on my Instagram, there's a Kragnar dragon custom that I made. And if you look under there, he and I are collaborating on a special surprise coming up for Legion's Con. We will be working through our version of the 5 rings dragons. So you will see something coming from that. Paul actually customizes all his own stuff. He actually dragon head that you saw was kind of the homage to the D&D dragon. But we're going to do the actual 5 different dragons in the main 5 colors and their own sculpt. And he's sculpting them from scratch. He actually does ZBrush and all that stuff. So there will be a box set coming for Legion's Con that will be available at his table. And he and I will hang out and talk about that and demo those.
Nice.
Beautiful.
So
Dragons confirmed.
There you go. Dragons confirmed.
Oh, there's a dragon?
Yeah. What I hear.
They won't be as big as the one that we're going to pre-order in March, but
Nice. All right, Brian, what you got going on?
Oh, we got the Emil Wickman and I are finishing up Season of Demons, and so we are working on the Hellhounds right now. It's the last character in the Season of Demons, so we have each season is 3 months. You can check those out at vonbergstudios.com, and then we're working on the next planning the next season, the next 3 months, and we got a pretty cool theme that we're going to roll out that makes a lot of sense on why it's rolling out at the time it is. So there's a little hint there.
All right.
And I may have a little drop coming for Valentine's Day. Might have a little exclusive head sculpt that I might be dropping on Valentine's Day. So the last one I did sold out like in 4 minutes. So hopefully this will last a little bit longer than the last exclusive. But so that's something I'm working on right now, and then some random stuff here and there too. But social wise, you can find me at Von Burke Studios at most places, IG and you name it. So,
hey Brian, curious, have you?
Yeah, or just follow his finger wherever his finger points. That's where you go.
Yeah,
the finger.
Yeah, you'll find him.
That's right. What's up, Blake?
Have you and Emil thought about doing of your Von box or anything along that nature of an ogre scale, like head sculpts for any stuff like that?
No, but we could. I mean, definitely have the means for it. So that's a good thought. It's a real good thought. The only problem, the challenge with that and doing some 2.0 stuff is that not everyone has a lot of compatible parts for it. And so we try to keep it a little more open, but I like that idea.
Or even maybe a drop, Yeah,
what if that was like part of the theme so people knew what they were buying into?
Sure.
Like a series of ogre heads.
Yeah, Curtis,
cool.
No, it's great ideas, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
The
we got two
Box
awesome
Pro XL.
armored ogres coming this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I can't wait for the Valentine's Day Jesse's head is Cupid that you just announced. That sounds great.
Little cherub.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
That sounds great. I'm glad you confirmed that here on the channel.
That's awesome.
For those of you just joining.
I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Roberto,
yummy.
You can find me on Instagram and all those places at Porto Geekin.
Or if you see him walking around, just
see
yell
me walking around, just yell it out. Other than that, I'll just be working on some of my own kind of personal projects. Like I said, this idea with Guaisa and Noble Bear. We'll see where that goes. I talk to Brian frequently, so maybe at some point we'll collaborate again this year and start sharing some thoughts or ideas about things to work on.
We got some stuff we've talked about.
So looking forward to that. Yeah. And then I've got some just custom projects that I need to get off my ass and start working on them because I've been lazy. But I did a fun custom for Carlos from the Badass Reviews at Legion's for last year's Legion's Con, and I've got an idea for something as it's a Warhammer custom. So I'm looking at doing something new for that. I've got this plan to work on a different iteration of that.
That was such a great figure, dude.
It came out great, and Carlos really liked it. It was kind of a nice surprise that I brought for him, and so I'm thinking about kind of an iteration on that for next Legion's Con. Awesome. I also paint miniatures, so I'm kind of working on some miniatures for a couple of board games that I like to play. So I'll be messing around with that too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And Blaise, what you got going on, sir?
I've got I got some commission work, including for a certain bald-headed gentleman that's in this little group right here that I got to finish up. Not too much, some heads and a few customs. And then I've just got a backlog of personal projects that are, in various stages of completion that I really need to buckle down and, decide what I want to focus on. I'm one of those kind of ADD, idea guys where I'll get an idea and I'm like, I start working on it and I get like a day into it and then I abandon it for like 6 months. And it's like, so, it's the game.
I know something else. You're going to be on the Art by Akerman channel this Tuesday on our next How'd They Do That. So
nice.
We'll be talking about some of your painted heads. So yeah, tune in for that on Tuesday. It'll be a lot of fun. Had a great time talking with you, and I think
that was cool.
Folks will enjoy that. So
cool.
Beautiful.
But see a lot of good feedback on your Art by Akerman channel. It looks like it's helping a lot of people out, which is cool.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride so far. I mean, 4 weeks, I'm already up to like 1,200 subscribers, and I've just been trying to push out just constant content and try to make it valuable for people. So
yeah,
so far it's going well. So
that's great.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Jesse, anything you got going on you want to let people know about?
Well, Curtis, I don't really do anything without you. So we've got 2 things coming up. Tomorrow night, It's not live, but we're doing our next session of A Legion's Quest with Joe, Trevor, and Nate. So really looking forward to that. We're mid battle, defending a town. So if you're listening to this or watching this, really late Monday night or very early Tuesday morning, it'll be available on YouTube on the Let's Go Off-World podcast channel. And and then the audio version will go out to the various audio services on Thursday morning.
So what's really funny about this comment from Trevor here, first I'm hearing about this, is that we have to work all of the rest of our schedules around Trevor. Like Trevor, it's a Trevor universe, and we're just living in it. All right.
Hey, he's done with the photos, right? He's done with the photos.
No,
for the photo book,
he's still working on it.
Oh, I thought he was almost done.
No, he was still working on it this weekend. So, but yeah, no, seriously, like we have to figure out which weekend is, or which week is he going to do Legion's Lounge? If he's not doing Legion's Lounge, is he available? Is he available early, late? Like Trevor is the linchpin of the scheduling for Legion's Quest. So if you're ever like, hey man, it's been a while since we've had a Legion's Quest, I really want one. You just need to message Trevor. That's all you got to do. So. Awesome. Well, hey, folks, it's been great having you. This has been a blast.
Awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes,
Totally.
absolutely.
Very cool.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Cool. So we're going to put you backstage. We're going to close out the show. If you've got to run, we totally understand that. But if not, hang out and we'll be with you in just a minute.
Sounds good.
Cool.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Later. I didn't pick anything. You know me, I can do any time of the week. So any day I'm good.
Well,
the other books
coming up.
Yeah.
It's next Sunday night. We've got two guys, which so we're bringing a friend, actually two, definitely two. I think two. Curtis got to hang out with them today, I believe.
And I enjoy watching them on Saturday mornings. They go live on the Saturday Morning Toy Collector channel. Yeah, we're gonna have Schmerbs and Mark with us. So yeah, we're bringing Saturday morning to Sunday night next week. So
there we go.
Yeah. It'll be a lot of fun.
I was really happy finding these pictures because I think they were just their profile pictures. And I was like, these lined up so nicely in the window. It was really easy to do this week's.
It's great. They look amazing. You did a great job. So
well, thank you.
Yeah, I know you like to downplay your just tracing this and that. And bullshit. I see.
I do. I don't want to I can draw. I do draw without tracing, but for this show, it was always just a way to save time. I just trace over a photo.
But it's bullshit because I can see when I pull that up, there's a lot of shading and stuff in here. It's not it's you gotta give credit where credit's due to yourself. So you did a great job.
Thank you.
Yep. Beautiful.
So that's it. So yes, thank you all for watching. If you're listening or watching on the replay, thank you for joining us there. Thank you to all our wonderful guests. It was great going down that memory lane, even if I didn't remember some of the toys. Now, granted, I'm a little bit younger than you guys, but I am not an 80s kid, so at least I was born in the 70s, and my brothers and sister had some of these things, but I just didn't have a huge attachment to a lot of the specific ones we talked about tonight, but they're very cool.
I'm just gonna probably stare at this one with
you're just gonna draw on that catalog for the rest of the night
right here, the superpowers one. I'm just gonna look at this and I'll be like, oh, because I had it all. I had every vehicle, I had the Hall of Justice, I had every character, and then I came home one day from school and it was just all gone. My mom had given it all away to a kid.
Oh no,
a kid that was they had these couple friends and they had a young son and they're like, oh, well, my son doesn't need these toys anymore. And she just gave it all away. And I'm like, it was the whole collection, all of it. I had the on the back, where you have the checklist, and I checked everything off, and there's nothing left on.
Oh no! I'll try to one up you. Like Deadpool and Vanessa. Oh, you had a cardboard box to live in.
Yeah, there you go.
I had to. Now I lived out on a country road, essentially, when my mom and stepdad were married, and it was not highly trafficked. and everybody that did come around the curve we lived on was going way too fast. So I was told to put all my He-Man toys in the classic like red wagon toy, you know, with the sides that would lift out, you know, the wooden sides, drag it down there, make a sign. I had to sell it all for $50 to go towards my college fund when I was like 12 or 13.
Oh gosh, that's rough.
Now I didn't have everything, but I mean, it was all the figures I had at the time, including that tongue lasher that I stole from the kid in New Jersey, that I've talked about before.
Oh man, yeah, that's rough.
So I guess that's karmic payback for that. But yeah, and I thought I'd be out. I thought it would never happen. I kept praying no one would come and get it. But someone stopped, and you know, $50 later, all my He-Man toys were gone.
I like, the more I look at this, I think I might have to just try to get on eBay and find like an old beater Hall of Justice just to have one.
There you go.
All right.
Well, Trevor, I don't have to talk to the parent that made me do that. That was my stepdad, and he died 11 years ago. So, or 12
I thought he was
ago.
trying to one up you. It was going to be like, oh, you had parents?
Oh,
yeah. All right. Well, you know, it was a good show. And what is it we say? Until next time, something.
See you on the flip side. No. What?
Yippee-ki-yay? No.
Where's the beef? No.
What's on your shelf?
Yeah.
That's it.
Oops. Oh. No!